see. Well, actually, maybe because it's pretty tense. We're gonna start with tense music.
Oh God.
All right. So, recap. The first person to offer to do a recap gets advantage on their first roll.
Piper can't hear anything.
Piper, take the shit out of your ears. I don't know how to help you.
We can't hear you either, Piper.
Pull up everything.
Joe gets a microphone upgrade, and then Piper gets a microphone downgrade.
Nope, still can't hear you.
Rip.
Oh, your audio. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Piper, if you're talking, I hear nothing.
She is not.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello.
There we go.
Hello.
All right. So,
The recap is fight, death, and more fight.
I died and everybody else kicked ass. That's the recap. Moving on.
nobody wants to. No, I'm not kidding. I'm giving advantage to the first person who does.
That's the recap.
We fought
That is the recap.
Like,
That is our
Cyber
re-
Psycho.
Sewer spotted
Is-
Cyber Psycho, kicked its ass. Lindis died, and then you guys had a cool sneaking into the hotel montage where you fought Marcus, or you found the Marcus,
Fought Marcus. Okay, that's big bad. Got it.
and then you unlocked the secret boss fight against Marcus. You single-handedly killed the party, and now we're starting a new campaign.
What was it that Iris said? This brave of heart, dumb of ass man
Yep.
decided to sneak into the shutdown ward.
Yeah, punching 3 guards along the way because he got
Not-
questioned once.
Yeah, not even antagonize, just question once.
He does not have pressure well at all. So,
Question, panicked, knocked out.
It was like, if I remember correctly, it was like, "Hey, what are you doing? I live here. I'm going home. Where do you live?" Punch.
so I will say there is one thing I need to amend that I said to you, Z, that I am going to retcon after thinking about it for a little bit. The helmets, you had asked if you could hack into their comms, and I was like, no, it's a private network or whatever, and you'd have to put on their helmet or whatever fucking made up excuse I gave. It is. I'm willing to say that you can hack. It will take you a little bit of time because you have to interface with the helmet. But you can hack into their communication system and access it.
Okay.
So, y'all are in the back area of this hotel, and I forget what the name of it was. Amy.
I named it Hotel Hell. I don't think he gave us
Hotel
a name.
Hell.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay.
Aspen.
Hotel Hell. The Helltel. So you are currently in the back area where a lot of cargo would come in, and this is a service area. You have knocked out the 2 guards. You've found Marcus, freed him. He looks like shit, but after a little touch up from Kaya, he looks better. He certainly still got like a pretty positive attitude, all things considered. That said, you are standing in this area. Things are getting pretty tense. There was an explosion outside on your way in that you have no idea what the source was.
I want to fucking contact Vengetti.
We need to
Figure it out.
get all these people into a room and tied up or something,
Yeah.
and you can contact them wherever we
Yeah.
stash the bodies.
Yes. Well, once we handle this situation.
Gotcha. Okay, well, around you, you can see a couple of doors. You see there's a hallway that goes out and extends into what you imagine would be like the administrative area where they have computers and their miniature office space. There's a hallway that if you go up and to the left, that leads what you would assume into like a more public-facing area, like the way you would go to get to the pool or a workout center or a media center. But you're right now closed off in this back room. There's a few other nearby doors that you can see, one of which is cracked open. There's no light on in it, and the other two, which are both closed. And then there's obviously an exit behind you.
Possibly storage closet-y type doors.
Yeah, utility.
You can tell like without really needing to roll. You like take one quick step over and then tip your hand in the door that's cracked open, and you can see that is a very small storage closet. It's about the size of like a tiny one-person bathroom. You can stand in there, you can turn around. There's a mop and bucket, there's a couple of chemicals, there's basic cleaning supplies and such scattered throughout.
So those two, she like looks at Lockhart. Those two need to go in there, and I need one of their helmets.
Can I just pop off one of their helmets, or is it like connect suit? How?
It's connected to the actual like armor that they're wearing, so it doesn't get knocked off. Their armor isn't modular. It's like one gigantic piece, sort of like the football pads that you see. They slide over their head. You can get their helmet off. It's heavy, but you can do it. You just take off their front plate and back plate armor.
Sounds
And
annoying,
it would.
but I'll do it.
Gotcha. So, you are going to start taking the disassembling and like pop off some of the clips and buttons and belts so that you can start to remove the armor. You've done this before. You haven't done this before, but you're pretty familiar with the Fire Ants, and their gear is not standard issue, but it's also not like incredibly like esoteric. It's pretty straightforward type of like a combative body armor. So you're taking and disassembling that to get at the inside of the helmet for the comms. What are the rest of you doing while Lockhart does that?
Can I produce zip ties? From
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Easy.
Tying up these fuckers.
Okay. So you can just go down without having to make any rolls. You grab their wrists, zip tie them a little too tight because you're kind of pissed off, and you're like, that's it would be something that you're like, that's gonna hurt if they don't take care of it for a while. But it's just the way it is for now. You fuck it. You got stuff to do.
Got stuff to do. Can't worry about this shit. Zip tie their hands behind their back.
Mm-hmm. What about the rest of you?
Legacy is waiting for a helmet and is double checking on Marcus one more time, making sure that he is not lying to her about being okay to continue on.
You can roll me a cool check to sort of assess his mood.
That's not gonna go well.
Why is my thing scrolled all the way up? What is that?
Yep, that's not going well.
So you look over and Marcus is he still looks pretty beat up just in general. He's got the really bad bruising on his face and his neck, but he's still upright. He doesn't seem wobbly or woozy in any obvious way. He is facing he's kind of stepped over towards the hallway that would lead out to the lobby and the public area. And he's got his back pressed against the wall, and he's just kind of poking his head around and then pulling his head back and poking his head around and pulling his head back.
So he's on watch duty?
Yes.
Good.
With his good eye.
Good.
This poor man. Yeah, So
Okay.
as soon as Lockhart manages to get her a helmet, Legacy's gonna shuffle off somewhere that she feels like is either hidden or safe. I don't know if there's like a little conference room or some shit that she can duck into, and she's gonna sit down and start hacking.
So there's 2 closed doors, and then there's that utility closet. If you were to try to open either door, you would find that one of them leads to what is ostensibly like an accounting, like, main office, sort of like a managerial office, shoved way in the back. And there's a larger desk, there's a computer and a PC. There's a couple of office kind of dressings. It's not very big. It is probably like 2 or 3 times the size of that standing like that closet you looked at earlier. That door is unlocked, and then the last door is locked. And just about that time, like, you start to check those last rooms, you hear Lockhart finish the last Velcro strip, and pop, you take the chassis and like front plate and back plate armor and helmet up and off, and it is really heavy. You have to heave this thing. So long as you're holding it, you're moving a lot slower, and it's definitely like it would impact your ability to do certain things if you wanted to hold on to it. The armor itself is the armor itself has that backpack battery and fuel tank sort of device constructed into the backside of the armor, and that hose runs to the gun. So you pull that helmet off and that armor off, and you see, like, below it, there's just generic black tactical clothing, and the face of this dude. He's clearly unconscious. He doesn't look great. He's got a lot of bruising across the bridge of his nose, like something hit him in the face, and like his helmet, the caved in part of his helmet may have ruptured part of or not ruptured, but like hit the cartilage at the edge of his nose and punctured it or damaged it in some way.
What a shame.
Duct tape?
Duct
Just
tape?
saying.
Duct
Fucking
tape.
duct tape their mouth. Fuck it.
Duct tape their mouths.
Oh, he's got stubble, so you rip some duct tape off, you get like a nice and then you placed it over his mouth, and you're looking at it and you're like, man, taking that off is gonna be a fucking pain. This is like 2M adhesive duct tape. This is extreme stick duct tape.
It's Flex
And
Seal.
It's
Flex
not gonna be
Seal?
great. You can't Flex Seal their mouth shut.
What? Flex tape.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You
I'll
forget about Flex tape?
I did forget about Flex. I was about to say, like, Amy, you're going to murder him if you just dump Flex Seal into his mouth.
Jesus Christ, no, Flex tape.
Okay, yeah, you can have Flex tape and Flex tape his mouth closed. That's a lot of damage. And as soon as the helmet pops off, Legacy, you scuttle over to it. You, without even touching it, look at it and you're like, that thing weighs more than you. You are not going to be able to lift it. So if you want to hide in a room, you got to get Lockhart or Marcus to move it for you.
Yeah, Legacy looks at it, kind of pokes it, and looks up at Lockhart and has this like little smile. In there, and she points at the like accounting office.
She sighs, but does it anyways.
There you go. And Legacy follows her in as soon as she puts it down. Just like sits cross-legged and starts trying to hook up her hacking suite.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I have a question. So am I gonna need to stay with Legacy while she fucks with it?
No, you can set it down. The armor itself is rigid, so it will hold its shape without a person in it. At least mostly. The helmet is rigid enough that you can, as long as you set it down, Legacy can like reach in and access the insides and fuck around with it. It's just a matter of picking it up and moving it.
Okay, I want to pull, like, once that's taken care of, I want to pull the plug on the, like, any other communication on the other guy, just so can't communicate
Gotcha.
just in case.
So you're gonna go and start disassembling his armor to get to the inside of it and take the communication out of it. Marcus, while he's
Quick
like,
question. Are we
yes.
do we start each session with that 4 prep, or are we still carrying over our prep from last session?
you start every session with 4 prep. And prep does not carry over session to session, so it's never like 4, then 6, then 8. It's just
I just
4.
wanted to know
Okay.
if I had 4 or if I was back down to 2 still.
No, you got 4 again.
Gotcha.
What about the group prep? Because isn't
That
that like,
is 2, because of 1 for free and then 1 from Kaya.
yeah, but that's every session as well, or is that?
Yes, that is
Okay.
also every session.
Just make sure.
So you start disassembling that armor. Marcus turns around and then looks back out to the hallway, kind of pokes his head over a little bit, waits for a second, and then turns around and then hustles over to grab the dude who you had already taken the armor off. He's already got his hands zip tied and his mouth taped. Marcus is kind of strangely, like, compared to how he was before, he is very just like, all right, cool, this is what we're doing. All right, let's go. He, without questioning, picks the dude up under the arms, heaves him with seemingly little effort. Like this probably 240-pound dude, Marcus just like goes underneath the arms and then hefts, holds him up, grabs him by the waist and tosses him over the shoulder, and then walks into the utility closet. And Legacy, or wait, Kaya, what are you doing? You want
Don't-
to say,
don't-
what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm sorry, my brain is fried. Kai would just want to flex tape the other one's mouth before putting them in the closet with Marcus, and also just disclaimer of don't try and use their guns
Because she
because she
Yes.
fucked with them.
Yes. Great. Okay. So Marcus already took the one that has been bound and gagged. You, Kaya, walk over to Lockhart, who is disassembling the armor. You help undo a couple of buckles and snaps, and then after the armor is undone, Marcus grabs it and takes either side of where the shoulder pauldrons are kind of situated, and he pulls it, slides it off, and then lifts it up, and he holds it kind of like you hold a laundry basket, except there's a little helmet in the middle instead of just the basket. And he's also, like, again, seemingly little effort. You can quickly flex tape his mouth and shove him in the closet. Legacy, make me a hacking check to get into this system.
Alright, and remember I have 2 free ghosts already, and I'm gonna data bomb
Gotcha.
to get advantage. Whew.
Oof. Oof. So the system itself is quite, it's not incredibly advanced, but it's very, very, like, sturdy, if that makes any sense. It's a simple design, but it's taking you a little bit of time to actually, like, break through it, because it's a simple like encryption, and you are just brute forcing it because you don't want to, you would know how to work around it, but it would take far more time to do that than brute forcing it at this point, especially with the risk of accidentally activating it and transmitting something that you didn't want to transmit. But you are going to still be able to get in because it's not incredibly complex. It is just a communication system. So while the rest of you are, Marcus is taking the armor and he'll walk it in there with you, Legacy, and he'll say, where do you want this?
And
Do you want this?
she'll just point to the space beside the other one.
he
Like, very much focused.
walks over and, like, carefully sets it down to the other one, or next beside the other one. did anyone else take the other guy into the closet, or is Marcus gonna have run out there and do that?
Okay, can do it probably, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as you have like 2 tough, you're
That's what she's
probably
got.
good. Yeah.
That's what she's got.
So you can, after Marcus takes the armor, you get underneath the arms and just and then just drag him into the closet.
Well, bumps into something. Oops. Oh well.
Angry
So-
Kaya is fun.
Just
So,
making sure they're both zip tied and gagged, right?
Yes.
Both of them.
correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Saya has supplied Flex Seal and zip ties. Flex tape.
Just to clarify, you zip tied their hands or their ankles and their hands? Did you zip tie anything more than their hands?
I'd like to do both,
Okay,
if that's possible.
sure. I wanted to clarify because like there's cause to believe you would try to zip tie their feet, but didn't want to assume. So yeah, you zip tied their feet and their hands together behind their back.
Mhm.
And you've sealed their mouths and you shove them into the utility closet. Marcus, after you do that and walk into the room, Lockhart still keeping watch, Marcus looks up and says, so what do we do if somebody just opens that door? And he gestures to where the closet, like, points to where it would be on the outside of the hall.
Preferably, we won't be here when they do that.
Okay, well, all right, that's
Shit.
fine.
That means we have to go find the fucking office for the security cameras back here. That's all you... Legacy
Security
just
cameras.
muttering to herself.
Are there security cameras looking around?
There's security cameras. There are security cameras. There's another door that you have not opened that was locked. For the record, these doors aren't labeled. There's not like a little office label to any of them. Legacy, make me another check to break into this thing.
That's more like it.
Okay. So after a little bit more, just running through a couple of brute force attempts, you crack into it. You can hear some stifled chatter. There are people running over the radio, just like, what's going on? Where did the explosion come from? I don't know. The whole place is billowing with smoke. There's some department store. And there's just an exchange of dialogue going on where everyone's kind of confused. You can switch the channel. There appears to be multiple channels.
Okay. Is there... Well, we're... English. Let's see. Okay. Is there any ability for me to mirror the channels?
What do you mean mirror?
So that, like, I can, like, put it essentially on my phone or something like that?
She wants to tap on it.
You could. You would need some extra pieces of equipment so that you could make like a transmitter. Because this actual system is very rudimentary, and it's either if you want to listen to it but not be listened, or like if you want to just reap the benefits of hearing everything they say without actually risking being on the network and having them being like, wait, who's this like 5th person who just joined? You would have to get a transmitter device so that it would just send the audio it's receiving to you. You could just plug in and just essentially join their group Helmet Discord call if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. Okay. I'll cycle through the channels first and see if there's anyone that seems to be focused on the hotel or particularly interesting before I do anything else.
One second. Okay. Repeat that for me, please.
I'll kind of cycle through the channels really fast and see if there's any that are focused primarily on the hotel or in the hotel, or if there's any that are like particularly interesting. She really doesn't give a shit about the explosion outside right now.
Gotcha.
She
So
doesn't give a shit about the crowd control outside. She's just looking for things that are useful to her at the moment.
Gotcha. So flipping through the stations, you find that just like casual listening, you hear one of them is what you assume to be in hotel chat, where people are saying their positions, talking about like, I'm on floor X, all clear, checking floor Y, and their patrol. And then you cycle through again. You make a note of that one. You cycle through. You find one that is corresponding to the HVACs that are circling the area. And there's like radio chatter, and this one sounds distinctly like garbled in a different way, likely because the radio is not a helmet radio. It is an HVAC radio that's transmitting to the helmets. So you hear that one, you hear the hotel one, you find out that the one that was initially tuned into was the emergency one, which obviously happened because of the explosion. You do find a second one that is outside, like all of the soldiers who are stationed outside of the hotel and that chat. They're talking about the reporters. They've got the one reporter who jumped the fence, and he is now thrown back behind the line to keep kind of everything contained. There's a lot of panic to all of the different voices because there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's a very, very chaotic situation. As you flip through, you find 2 additional channels that are both silent. And if you want to like wait and kind of listen to see if anything happens, or do you want to wait and listen to see if anything comes over through the comm, or are you just like, you hear silence and you're like, skip it?
She's skipping them. She's wanting to get in and out and not be here when somebody inevitably finds these 2 dudes we've tied up.
Okay. Also, as you are flipping through, there's the regular check-ins, but you haven't heard the cliche like, X team, please respond. X team? X team, are you there? Like, that has not happened.
Cool.
And you did not, or were you were hesitating on the silent channels, or just skipping through it and getting it over with?
I mean, she'd listen to it for about 30 seconds, and then she would be done. She's like, okay, there's nothing here that I want to hear. I need to
roll me a D100. Okay, so you flip through it. It's silent. You wait for a second, silent, and you move on. So as you are flipping through, you've listened to all the radio stations, and you're kind of getting an idea of what's going on in this situation. What are the rest of you doing?
I wanted to talk to Big Getty.
Yeah, but that can wait until after we get out of here. How long is this taking?
It's taking just like a few minutes right now. It's not like a crazy long amount of time. It's been probably 10-15 minutes maybe.
Okay. She'd want to figure out where the fuck the mini Larrys are and what he did with them. Like, if she has downtime. But that's low priority. Lockhart can do other stuff first.
Just keeping watch, so.
Alright.
Okay. So you radio to Ben Getty to try and get an idea of where he and the other 2 Larrys are. As you radio in, there's a delay before you get a reply back. He's like, "Oh, hi. So I found a great distraction.
I see that. Where are you? In the Larry's?
We are in, like, a neighboring department store. I was going to wait a little bit, wait till everything kind of settles down again, and then I was going to set off another explosion. There's no one here. Don't worry, I'm not, like, damaging people.
I knew the explosion was Minghetti. That's what he thinks distraction is.
Yeah,
It's
of
a
course it
distraction.
is.
It's
Of
a
course
very
he thinks we
effective one.
still need more. Oh my god. Do we still need more, guys? Like, oh,
I
fucking,
mean,
like,
Why
hold on.
not, right?
Well, it keeps more of the troops out of the hotel if they were in the hotel.
Exactly.
Alright, like, alright, just don't get caught.
You get the feeling that he's, like, nodding as he just goes, "Oh yeah, of course." And there's another brief pause where he just goes, "When did you want these back, by the way? Should I, like, be on my way back soon? Or am I good? I'm probably good, right?"
A couple hours? Fucking have him back by midnight. Don't destroy the whole fucking block.
You just give Minghetti toys.
Yeah, just don't break them. Don't get caught with them. Don't take them out for too long. Just I'll let you know if I need them.
He not, like, agrees and just goes, "All right, absolutely. I will stay relatively close by. And again, nobody's gonna get hit. It's just gonna be a lot of loud noises and property damage. Cheers." And then he hangs up. Like, just
Cool. Alright.
Legacy. Which channel did you stop listening on? Or not stop listening on, but, like, which one are you currently listening to? The hotel one?
Yeah.
So, while you're listening to that one, you hear, you hear someone say something in like a particular code, or at least you assume it's a code. It's somebody saying, like, code 9, and there's this weird. It doesn't sound like a soldier. It sounds a little overly calm, almost. And after a pause, you hear this as some people are changing channels.
She will do another flip through round, see if there's any new activity anywhere, and then I don't know. Can I roll something to see if I can MacGyver a transmitter while I'm flipping through shit?
Sure. Yeah, you can try that.
What do you want me to roll?
Go ahead and roll a clever check. And do you have any hardware specialties of any kind?
I have the MacGyvering one, and I also have security systems. I don't know if it would apply to that.
It would not be a security system. Which MacGyvering one do you have?
Just MacGyvering. You said I could have a general specialty MacGyver.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, then you can just add that to it. Absolutely. I thought you meant, like, the special custom class that I'm making for...
No.
Okay.
No. I am hacker edge runner only, but I did just want that because apparently I make EMP cell phone bombs, so...
I don't know if it would help any, but we do have that chest of random shit.
Yeah, we do have the chest of random shit, and then Legacy usually has a couple of tools and weird things. Hey!
Oh, never
There
mind.
you go. So as you are listening to the stations and kind of flipping through them absentmindedly, you reach back and start to grab a few things from the bag. You grab a few things from your pocket. You like poke Kaya in the shin, and you're just like trying to get her attention. You ask for some stuff. Kaya is just okay. And you start to piece together something similar to what you saw something similar to the bug that you saw in your apartment way back when. It's similar in design, but it is made for longer range communication. The only thing is that it won't be able to penetrate through walls and floors very well. So if you get too far away from this bug, you will lose the signal to it. So you can get up and walk away, but you don't know how far you'll get before the signal just attenuates out and it becomes garbled.
Is it
But you
something
can't
that-
hear.
Is it something I'm gonna have to specifically pair with this specific helmet, or is it something that I can use to kind of jump from helmet to helmet as the transmitter?
It is specifically tied to the helmet you're attaching it to.
Okay. Well, if that's the best I can do, that's the best I can do. I'm not gonna complain about that.
Roll me another D100. Okay. So you've made your little like bug. Marcus takes a knee and is watching you intently as you manufacture this thing and then connect it to the internal part of the helmet. Marcus, like, he kind of grabs part of the armor and lifts it up and kind of examines it and looks over to you and just goes, do you need the whole thing or just the helmet, just the transmitter component?
Just the helmet. I don't.
He nods and then he looks over to looks over to Kaya and then to Lockhart and then back to Legacy, and he just goes, do any of you know if the actual compartment, the battery to the helmet, is located within the helmet, or is it localized to this battery pack on the back here?
I don't know. I can take a look.
Okay. Lockhart, you wouldn't know just
Yeah.
because of the nature of it being kind of obtuse technology.
Yeah.
Kaya, you can go ahead and roll me a cool engineering check.
A cool?
Not cool, sorry.
Okay.
A clever engineering check.
Okay. Yeah, +1 engineering. And could she give herself +1 with nerd?
Yeah.
Okay. Give herself a little pep talk. Pep talk.
Pepto-Bismol.
12.
All right. So you take a seat, or take a knee, similar to Marcus, and you start to look over the helmet, and you can see that right at the seam of the helmet, where the shoulder pauldrons are connected, there's no wiring that goes over there, and you're pretty sure that the helmet is a self-contained unit. As in, you could you could pull the helmet off, and then that would still allow you to have the transmitter.
Alright. I'm pretty sure it's got its own power source. I think we can disconnect it.
Okay. Do you have any idea how to disconnect it?
Pulls out screwdriver.
Marcus nods and just goes, are we in a hurry? And he'll just kind of looks around.
A tiny bit. Do you want to be here when somebody walks around the corner and notices that we have put 2 people in the closet?
Point. And then he turns back to the pauldron and then grabs it with both hands and then starts to heave. And you can see him really put effort in. And he's like furrows his brow and he like pinches right at the edge of the pauldron and starts to pull and twist like he's tearing a phone book. And you see the metal actually start to bend. And there's a brief moment where it's just kind of slowly, and you hear the and then and it snaps like instantly, and he pulls it off. And he looks at it with one hand and just goes, "Cool," and he just throws it over his shoulder.
Holy shit.
Like, Legacy stops what she's doing for the first time and just watches. And then looks at Kaya. And then looks back at Marcus. Well, that was kind of hot, and goes back to what she's doing.
You say that, and he like stutters on the next one, and his hand slips, and he's like, oh, yeah, and yes, yep, and then goes back to it, and then starts to bend the next one. Let's see. Okay. And then much like the same one he just ripped off, he pulls back, and this time he's got it a little bit more down to his science. He he sets his foot on the inside of the helmet and pushes down on the ground, puts one hand on the pauldron and one hand on the base of the helmet where the pauldron is connected, and then leans, and then it just peels back. Like it's almost a slow rip, like a controlled motion, rather than just kind of yanking it halfway. And he rips that piece off, and then he looks at the front chassis piece and just goes, okay, I don't know if I can, I can't really like manhandle this one. It's a bit too big, so maybe screwdriver.
Pulls out screwdriver. Guy's got every fucking size screwdriver.
So it's a little awkward at first because you kind of like bend down for a second and start to look for the points where you can actually start to unscrew and manipulate something on it. And as you're going through it and manipulating it, it's going pretty well. You're getting a couple screws. There's a lot of mat points where it is just solid chunk of steel that has been connected through some type of like plastic material, like a rubber plastic type like lining, so that it doesn't have any. It's a perfectly sealed piece, but they don't have to screw it. It's just like a solid chunk of hard steel.
Well, if there is a seam, a flathead will work. I
Okay,
have learned that myself.
roll me some clever checks for your tool sabotage or tool disassemblement.
Okay. This isn't repairing hardware. This is the opposite.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So, yeah, you like see that it's sealed and it's not actually screwed or connected or bound by any sort of mechanical thing. And so you're like, all right, you put Philip's head away, grab the flathead, and then just turn it around like the psycho dagger, and you just start chipping away at it. And then once you get like a little sliver of it underneath the head, you bear down on it and start to pull back. And it's like you get one of those moments where when you're wrapping Christmas presents and you have the scissors and it just kind of glides through the paper and it makes that really satisfying like splitting noise. You hold the plate with one hand and you just get that with the flathead and get a single peel of that material, and then the plate comes off. And as soon as the plate comes off, you just about drop it onto the ground. It is heavy. That is like a 30-pound piece of steel that is just hanging on this armor piece.
Jesus. Fuck that.
Yeah, so you successfully get the armor like pretty much disassembled, if not a little broken in the case where Marcus pulled the pauldrons off. But there is the battery pack is the last piece, which right about once you get the front piece off and the two shoulder sides off, it's no issue to get that last piece off because Marcus would he can bend down and help you unscrew the last contacts and then pull it off.
All right.
So you have the helmet disassembled and it is bugged. And you are good to go. So, as you are finishing up your little sabotage job, you here on the station. Have you been flipping through the stations? The station. Have you been flipping through the hotel one?
Yes. Well, she listens to it for a bit, and if there's a pause or there doesn't seem to be anything that's happening, because I think she's kind of trying to establish when patrols kind of in her head.
Mm-hmm.
But when she hits a point of okay, I know what's about to happen for the next 30 seconds, a minute, she'll flip through another 1 or 2 channels and come back. Then she'll flip through 1 or 2 channels and come back.
Okay, so let me see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll me a D100 4 separate times.
Okay. Can I just do them all at once?
Will it count them all separately?
I should be able to just...
Yeah.
There you go.
76, 13, 48, 46. Okay. So as you are flipping through, you're flipping through and then Marcus rips the pauldron off and you actually don't hear anything for that good few seconds where you watch him do that and then you're just oh shit, okay. It's real ass fucking superhero hours. And then you shake your head and then snap back into it. And when you snap back into it, snap back to reality, you're flipping through those channels and you find one on you've memorized the order in which they appear at this point, because you can't cycle up and down. You can only cycle in one direction and it loops. So it's click, 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 reset. Click, 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 reset. So you click and then what you would get to that you recognize as this is one of the channels that's been silent. It is not silent when you flip to it on this time. So you flip to it and you hear someone say, are you sure, sir? Is that wise? And then there's a silence, and there's still 2 people. There's still someone else on that line, and then you hear, yes, I'm certain. Do it. And then there's an audible, oh, yes, sir. And then a click, click as they both switch channels.
Okay.
Okay. So, you hear that. You flip through a couple other channels, and you don't catch anything at that time. But you have the helmet and you can move now. So what are you guys doing?
I kind of want to know what's behind door number 3, but at the same time, we need to go.
Were there security cameras that caught us fucking up the PMCs?
Sorry, one more time.
Were there security cameras that caught us fucking with the PMCs?
PMCs. You poke your head back out into the hallway, and you can see that there are security cameras, at least one posted on the back side of the door that you walked in from. So if there is a security, if the security camera is active, someone would have seen it.
Or at least have a recording of it. Because if somebody actively saw it, more than likely we'd already be in trouble.
Alright, What are the chances that door is security room?
Maybe. Can Legacy fit the helmet into like the satchel she carries, or no?
No. If you were to shove it in the satchel, it wouldn't be able to zip shut, and you would just have a fucking helmet poking out of the bag, like a too big cat in a too small box.
Oh, Legacy is just gonna have to hold this helmet. For the time being.
Oh my god, I'm muted.
Oh,
I was saying, is there maybe a bag in the utility closet?
put it in the bucket.
You go and check the utility closet. Wait, who's checking the utility closet? Everyone? One person?
I was just gonna joke like we could put it in the mop bucket.
I mean,
Alright.
we could
Throw a
even.
jacket over it.
I mean, wait. Idea. Because
Idea?
Legacy is in her giant puffy jacket. So she can just like take her giant puffy jacket off and like try to bundle it up a little bit and hope that the just size of her jacket helps to hide size of helmet in the middle of jacket. Maybe. Because she wears those jackets that are like 5 times too big for her.
I will say that you can certainly wrap all of that together and try to make it disguised. You would be. You know what? You could roll me a stealth check at disadvantage, and this will determine the number of spots it takes before someone notices, like, what the fuck?
And I automatically add an additional one because of my virtual ghost ability.
Ah.
So have at least one shot, no matter how bad it is. Would that be a quick check?
Yes.
Okay, let me double check that one right now. I have nothing else that's going to be useful.
Okay. So I will say you get your 1 plus your auto 1, so you'll have 2.
Okay. So Legacy will like take off her jacket, and she's essentially got the same like barely there sports bra crop top type shit that she usually wears underneath it, and bundles up the jacket around the helmet to try and help disguise it a little bit. Very clearly not super thrilled about it, not comfortable with it. It's still too big for her. Imagining like this fucking helmet is like half her midriff size.
Fucking Darth Vader helmet.
It's fine. It works. It gets the job done. Marcus watches you do this and just goes. He like raises a hand and says, "I could just carry it, wrapped in the hoodie."
Yes, but if you need to punch something, you need to be able to punch something. There's not a whole lot other than hacking I do well with my hands if we get in trouble. So I run fast. So I'll just run fast. He'll be fine. Fine.
He like tilts his head at the run fast part and he just goes, okay. So that's taken care of. What about and he points to the security camera.
Is there anything Kaya can do to fucking I don't know, wire into the camera, or to, I don't know, if there's a vent, have a mini Larry sneak into the locked room?
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's smart.
Yeah, I would say that there's one of those like little small rectangular vents, and one of your tiny Larrys can just barely squeeze through there.
Yeah, they're cupcake sized.
Yeah. So the one of the tiny Larrys like floats up beside you, and then you point out that little vent, and it salutes, and then starts to like up to it. With it has the manipulators, right? You gave them the tiny ones. Okay, so it gets up there, and it like flies over to one corner, and then it holds out its hand, its little manipulator, and then you see like a Swiss Army knife. It like rotates its hand into a Phillips head screwdriver, and then just tink, and then unscrews the bolt that's holding the vent in. And as it unscrews it and the bolt falls, it catches it and then puts it on top of its head, and then flies up to the next one, and then catches it and puts it on top of its head, and then gingerly floats and does the last two. And this vent is like on the wall, not on the ceiling. So as it gets the last one, it takes all the screws down, and like it floats down to you, and then it grabs 2 screws in each hand and then hands them to you.
Yeah, no, she'll take the screws, give him a little like finger pat on the head. Good job.
And then it like you watched Treasure Planet with us, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Morph. It just like rolls into your hand, kind of like a cat, and then it goes back up, and then grabs the vent and pulls it out, and it looks down at the rest of you, and then just tosses it to you, like the little vent covering. Yeah, you catch it, no problem. So you catch that, and then it looks back at it, and it does this gesture like it's rolling up its sleeves, and then goes into the vent. And it's pretty close. It's very, very close to scraping the top and bottom at the same time, but it fits. Just barely fits. And it starts to like float in there out of view. And then there's a 2-ish, 3-ish minute pause. Legacy, roll me another D100. Okay. So, as you are, like, sitting here waiting, after a few seconds, you hear tunk, 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 chink, and then the sound of, like, metal clashing or, like, clattering onto the floor. Not hard floor, but, like, it's almost like plush carpet. And you heard it from behind the door that's locked. And then after another few seconds, there's a little like the handle jiggles a little bit, like tick 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 tick, shunk, and then the door opens, and behind it you see Tiny Larry like vertically pushing downward on the handle so that it's like depressed. Like he has to get on top of it and then fly straight downward with the force of gravity behind him to get it to move.
Hell yeah. Good job, bud.
It gives you 2 thumbs up. Well, it doesn't have thumbs, but it gives you... It holds out its hands as though it were giving you 2 thumbs up.
So what's in your room?
So inside the room, you can see a pretty medium-sized desk that's just kind of like a generic wooden plastic composition. There's a generic office chair, there's a bookshelf with a couple of binders and other manuals and other office supplies on it. There's a picture of like a boat, not like somebody's boat. It's like an art painting of like just a boat. And you like looking around, this is just the most bland beige ass office. It's fucking boring. Jesus. But you do see that, no wait, that's the manager's office. I'm fucking dumb. What am I talking about? You opened the door that you opened is yes, you see a fold-out plastic chair. Sorry about that. So you see a fold-out like plastic chair that's like kind of dumpy looking, and then there's a series of like plastic folding tables. A few of them are folded and put against the wall, but 2 of them are unfolded and placed up and out against the wall, and all along them there are several monitors stacked, and you have like 6 You have 3 stacked on top of each other, or 2 sets of 3 stacked on top of each other, and there's a tower computer, like a retro-ass computer, underneath the table, and just a horrendous amount of cables running from all the monitors down onto the floor, and then there's like a bunch of gross dust mites or not mites, but like dust bunnies and like wads of hair and dirt. This is a gross, like, leftover back of the mind, forgot that this place existed type of security office. But there is the terminal has a console next to it that has a switchboard, so you can switch from camera to camera and pull it up on all 6 screens at once. And it also has it has the play button, rewind, fast forward, pause, and you can see that when you walk in, one of the buttons on the box is blinking red.
So theoretically a record button, right?
Yeah, theoretically it is a record, but there's no one in here.
Alright, legs. Gestured to old fucking computer playground she has.
Legacy is like mildly disgusted by the room, mildly disgusted by how shit the technology is, but also computers. This is something she can handle. Not the cyber psychos and shit. This she knows.
And she handled the cyber cycle pretty well, to be fair.
In her mind, it is like it was you guys.
And she kind of slowly walks in and takes a look around, and there's not any sign of being able to like get out of this room other than the door that we came through, right?
Correct.
Okay. So she will walk over and plug herself in, like sit down in the chair, put the fucking giant helmet in her lap, still bundled in the coat, and will plug herself into the computer and try to fuck some shit up. She wants to cycle really fast through all of the cameras. She should be able to do that without hacking, I think.
Yes, yeah, you can easily press on the switchboard and cycle through all the cameras. Roll me a D100. 91, and then roll me one more D100. I should have asked twice because you have the radio on as well. Okay, so you flip through the cameras, you see just a couple of hallways, you see a couple of guards roaming the hallways. Every camera you switch to has a code in the upper corner of the screen where it displays some like serial digit, and after flipping through it, you get the idea like, oh, okay, so the serial digits in the corner correspond to room numbers that are visible from that camera. And when you flip through it, you can see all of the floors except the highest floor. There is nothing that indicates like the the presidential suite floor. As you do that, you just hear radio chatter going through, and you start hacking. And while you do that, Lockhart, roll me a D100. We're gonna see how unlucky Lockhart is.
Yay.
When the lookout starts rolling, that's the problem.
Yeah, that's pretty
38.
Okay, so you are keeping watch, just eyes peeled. As you're doing that, you see someone walk around the corner, and it looks to be like just some kind of desk worker. They're wearing a collared white shirt, and they have a vest. They have a mechanical left hand. They're like wearing like slacks and pretty generic office shoes. Assumedly one of the front desk workers, and they were walking down the hallway
Towards us?
towards you.
Okay.
What do you got?
social stuff is not my thing.
Not any of our things.
It's probably. I think literally everyone else here is better than Lockhart at social things. So, let's see. Fuck.
What are you doing?
Does he seem like a manager kind of thing? Like maybe that office is his.
Roll me a clever check to see if you can spot any sort of defining or see if it's roll me a clever check to see if you can actually read his name tag from where you are without
Would
being
office-
seen.
Would office worker or bureaucracy tie into this?
It would.
Nice.
Okay. So you're not familiar with this office setting, but you definitely get the vibe from this dude that he's not the manager because he's wearing the generic black clothing and he doesn't have a suit coat or a blazer. So you're getting distinct maybe like assistant manager vibes, and then as he gets a little closer you can see his tag says A.M and has a name next to it.
Okay. So, the room where they were, the office, does that have all the stuff still stuck in it, essentially? It's like the
What do
stuff
you-
we tore apart?
Yeah.
Yeah, it still has the pieces of armor just thrown onto the ground.
Shit.
Nobody clarified whether or not you moved it, so that is my ruling. Is like, okay, well, I guess it's on the floor.
I mean, you do have two muscly people that can move shit.
Yeah, just stall him a little bit.
Okay, yeah, fucking, I kind of, like, turn towards, the group, I'm like, someone incoming? Clear the room. Clear the, office room. If you
Shit.
can.
Come on. Grabs
then-
Marcus.
And then hide in the, that room. The computer, or the fucking
Security room.
security room. Thank you.
Okay.
So I will.
Also, here I'll draw a little a little hallway diagram to give you an idea of what this place is kind of laid out like. So there is manager office, security room, utility closet, service entrance. And the person is walking up. That's terrible. Terrible line. Person is walking up from this direction.
Oh, and we're essentially here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go.
Okay, I'll,
There we go.
I mean, I'll just freaking straighten my clothes a bit and stand facing, like, away from, like, or, like, I'll walk forward kind of thing, as if, like, I've been controlling. I'll walk forward towards the guy, essentially.
So
like,
you're
to meet him
right
about
here, and you're going to walk out this way and then like hard turn this direction?
Yes.
Okay. So you kind of straighten yourself up a little bit, flatten the edge of your shirt, get some wrinkles out. Then you assume your most formal office vibe and round the corner. And as you do, you just in plain view, walking around from where you were, this dude like looks at you just like, what? He doesn't say anything. He furrows his brow and then kind of gets a confused look on his face. And he starts to slow down and then holds up a hand. He just goes, you, excuse me, I think you might be lost.
I don't believe I am. And who are you?
I'm the assistant manager. Who are you?
She looks side to side and like over his shoulder as if like doing a threat assessment, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Thing, and it's like, I work with the PMCs. I am on patrol out over here.
Okay. Roll me a cool check. And you can add your office worker to this.
Yay.
She's an intimidation bonus.
Oh,
So you said that you work with the PMCs, and then this dude just like raises an eyebrow and he just goes, "Then why aren't you wearing their uniform?" And he just gestures up and down.
I'm undercover. What do you expect?
He like just shakes his head and just goes, "Look, I'm just gonna go get security if you don't just leave. You can just leave. I don't want to deal with this." And he like he takes a step to the side and then gestures down the hallway from where he came from, and he just goes, "Just go. I don't want to get you in trouble. I don't want to have to deal with it. You don't want to have to deal with it. And you're not supposed to be back here. I'm not even gonna ask what you were doing. I assume you were just fucking around or smoking pot."
Have the others managed to move the shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking, as soon as Locker gave the signal, Kai just dragged Marcus like, fuck, come on, hurry up.
Okay, Kaya, roll a tough check. Marcus is going to roll one as well.
I don't think I can add anything to that.
Boost?
Can I boost that? Yeah.
You can boost it to the prep.
Kinda
Yeah,
wish
can
I had
prep to
boosted.
boost this shit. Fuck.
Yowza.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
Okay. So, Marcus runs in there, like you drag him along for half a second, he just goes, okay, and then like hustles into the next room, and like he starts picking up some of the scraps, and then you go for the bulk of the chassis that was left behind and the like battery, which is attached to the gun, and you heave, and it is so much heavier than you anticipated, and you like give it a good lift, get it off the ground, and roll me 2d6.
Oh boy, I thought 7 was average.
You heave it up, and you just have a moment where you're just, and then you feel your fingers slip, and it falls and just onto the ground.
Fuck.
So outside the hallway, right about the time he has gestured like for you to go down the hallway, you hear that from behind you, and he just goes, "Hey, what the fuck's going on?" Now he's walking. He is like, he turns towards you, feeling like he is now like office aggressive. He marches forward in this like very, I work here, I am the king of this domain type of attitude, and goes to push past you.
I'll put my hands up and like step to the side, like I've got nothing to do with this. But when he turns the corner, I'll get up behind him and put my hand over it, like kind of hold him from behind.
Wait, hold him how
So-
from behind?
So like, okay, so I imagine, I'm gonna draw real quick, if this is okay.
Yeah.
So like, when he gets to like, frick. when he gets to like here-ish kind of thing, like when he turns the corner, like I'm gonna let him go past. Like, okay, I have nothing to do with this, right? And when he gets there, I want to get up behind him, wrap my arm like just below the shoulder area, and put the other arm over his mouth.
So you want to put him in like a half like loop your arm under one of his, and then hold him like that, and then put your other hand
like,
over his mouth.
Like, imagine this: like she's up behind him, right?
Mm-hmm.
She takes one arm and goes across the shoulders, the chest to the other arm to hold onto that. You know what I'm saying? Grabbing hit the opposite forearm with the opposite arm, and then the other arm over his mouth, around his head, kind of thing.
Gotcha. So you're kind of like bear hugging him with one arm, and then you take your other arm and then slap it over his mouth.
But once he's over on this side.
Yeah. So he marches forward. You get out of his way. He's a businessman doing business. He rounds the corner, and then as soon as he sees what's going on, he's like, "Hey, what the?" And then you go ahead and roll a tough check to grab him, and this would count as hand to hand for the purposes of
grappling. Yeah.
Grappling.
I'm gonna boost.
Okay, you're gonna boost it? All right, go for it.
I'm concerned.
Go for it.
Ooh.
Okay, that
Ooh.
boost helped a lot. So he walks around the corner, and then mid exasperation, you sneak up behind him, wrap one arm around him, clap a hand over his mouth, and he's just like, and then Marcus is like, he has half of the steel and like scraps in one arm, and he's like picking it up and adding to the pile with his other, and then he sees that guy, and then sees you like holding him, and then looks over to Kaya and just goes, and then just continues picking up the scraps.
Kaya's not paying attention. She's just trying to get a grip on this fucking thing without it. I imagine that like when she messed with the gun and once they broke apart the armor, there's like a little spillage of like fuel, and that's why she slipped. She's just trying to get a grip on it. So just keep fucking moving. We'll deal with it later.
So you grab underneath it and heave a second time, and you don't need to roll for this, but you get up underneath it, and it leaked a little bit of fuel. Yeah, so you've got a little bit of this like weird battery powered fuel mixture, or like battery fuel mixture, because this is a very unusual weapon. It is some kind of electro powered like turbine type of gun. It is a very strange gun that is quote unquote non-lethal. So after it ruptures the tank, you reach under it, grab it, heave it up, and it's like still pretty heavy, but you're good. You and Marcus both hustle past Lockhart, and this dude's like, Marcus like runs by just like sorry, runs into the utility closet, and then just pushes the door open with one shoulder, and then just dumps the metal onto the two unconscious men in there. It's just...
Kaya does the same.
So, oh God, I feel bad for doing this, but there is a handle on the manager's door, right?
Yes, there is.
And there's a computer in there?
Yeah, the manager has his own personal deck.
And a phone?
And a phone?
Is there a phone in there? Yes.
No, it's assumed that a phone would be mobile.
Okay. I kind of want to lock him in the manager's room and try and break the doorknob, essentially.
Okay.
But
Just have Marcus yoink the deck.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Marcus is
Marcus.
He should be able to.
Marcus, like, tiptoeing back towards the security room just before he gets there, like, yeah, what's up?
breaks the deck over there.
Okay. He tiptoes over to the computer and then just like he hesitates as he gets close to the actual the deck and looks at it and looks up and he's like break it, destroy it, break it.
Just make it not usable.
You see him like dip below the desk, and then you hear like a like, and then he pops back up, and you see half of a cable, and on both ends of this cable there are frayed bits of wire.
Good. Time to lock this guy in that room.
Hold on. Kai's gonna walk up to the guy. That Lockhart has fucking like him choked, like muffled and fucking grappled. She looks at him. You got a phone?
He blinks and like gets really like angry eyes, and you're just.
Fucking nod or not. I don't give a shit. You got a phone on you.
Check him no matter what he says. Check him no matter what he says.
Just check his pockets if he doesn't answer within 2 seconds.
I
Does
suggest
not answer within 2 seconds, and with a quick check of his pockets, you do see that he has 2 phones on him. He has 2 distinct cell phones on him.
Kai will yoink him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have zip ties?
Zip.
Dude, he is very much like trying to wiggle out. I'll roll a tough. Yeah. Okay. Whoa. He's trying. He's not a very strong looking person. He's a very beanpole kind of body type. And he's just like wiggling, trying to get out of your grasp, Lockhart, but it's not happening. Not for him, and not right now. Yeah, Kaya, you grab the 2 phones out of his pocket, and he is now just like.
Just to double check, there's no phone in the manager's office left, right? Marcus broke that too?
Yes. Well, there is no phone in there. There is no hardline
okay.
phone.
Okay.
Landlines are a thing of the past.
Yeah.
Just double checking.
It's fair. It's fair. It's a good, fair enough question.
It's fucking ancient computer. I don't like.
Yeah, that's fair. This is a weird, made-up, anachronistic time period.
Yeah. So Kai's gonna like pull out a zip tie,
Mhm.
go to Lockhart. Zip tie him or not?
Zip tie his hands. I don't think his feet are needed.
He's just. He's just continuing to struggle frustratedly.
We're not here to hurt you, so go quietly. Go quietly and nothing bad will happen.
Nope, he's not getting out.
Yeah. You zip tie
Duct
him.
tape,
Awkwardly
Duct tape.
slides up.
Duct tape.
zip tie and duct tape.
So you're zip tying his hands. Roll me a tough check, Kaya, because he is wiggling and he does not want you to get his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Does
pretty good.
holding him help or no?
Yeah, I'll say that Kaya, you can have advantage because he's being restrained. He can't like wiggle his hands a hell of a lot.
Does her expertise in zip tying wires help her?
Yes.
Electrical engineering, maintenance
It's-
skills.
There is no other time that would ever apply except or if not now, then when.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so you got it. It's fine. Both of those are way above what he rolled. So you like bend down a little bit, grab his hand, pull it around. It's a little awkward at first, but you think the easiest way to do this is just put a zip tie on his hand, kind of loose, so you can have it as like a little bracelet. So you give him a bracelet and then put your finger in the loop and then pull so that you can yank his wrist around his back between him and Lockhart, and then get it close to his other arm, and then you grab that hand and then pull it together and then stick it like angrily, like pushing it and shoving it through the other zip tie. You can see he's getting like a couple of like scuffs on his hand. And there's like little bits of scratches and blood, but it's not like a serious wound, but it's like, ow, Jesus. But you're like, yeah, no, it's fine. He's zip tied.
Yeah, no, he's done. Took away all communication from him. He's zip tied. Fucking flex tape on his mouth.
Roll me a quick check with advantage.
Put the before we put the flex tape on, he's in the room first.
Mhm. Are you?
I just want to specify that.
I will. So, like, yeah, you guys are in the manager's office. As you go to like cover his mouth, Marcus just goes, hold on." And he runs over, like, grabs the door and closes the door.
Does Kaya get advantage from Lockhart holding him?
Yes, you do get advantage from that.
Okay, I don't expect her maintenance expertise to be good at zip. Flex tape.
Flex taping a mouth shut is not quite covered under that.
Just thought I would like throw it out there just in case you're feeling merciful, you know?
Fair. Okay, so he's like wiggling really, really aggressively, and then like right as you're like trying to get the tape around such that he doesn't have an opportunity to really scream. So you think about it for a second, and you're like, Then you put part of the duct tape or the flex tape on like the side of his face, and you can see there's a little bit of peach fuzz. It's not like a whole robust beard, but it's getting there. And you just stick it there, and then rip it off, and you can hear him just go, and then as he screams, you like nod to Lockhart. She takes his hand off his mouth, and he just goes, and then you shove the tape on it.
Holy shit! Making Kaya really brutal is great.
You said that you wanted Angie Kaya, so I was like,
You're right. No, this is great.
So he is now bound and silenced.
Alright. You good?
He also has a sticky bald patch on the left side of his face.
So-
Not my problem.
So now that he's bound,
Mhm.
I'll be nice and be like, "Do you want to be on the floor or in the chair?"
He is. Right. Let's see.
Nod once, nod once for the floor, twice for the
Is-
chair.
He is flailing in a totally controllable manner because he is not difficult to hold on to for you. But he's flailing and he is very angry. Just continuing to howl against the tape.
Should we get his legs if he's gonna kick the door and make noise or something? While we're here.
I could just knock him out. Does that scare him at all?
He's like a little scared. He's just like he's like wiggling, and then you say that, and then he stops.
Kind of shrugs. Holds up zip ties. Up to you.
I'm sorry for this. And yeah, she's gonna go for the neck.
Okay. There's a moment of like, sorry for this, and then you just like whimper beneath the tape. Roll me a boosted tough roll for your melee. I just want to see the
Boosted as well as hand to hand, right?
Yeah, it's a boosted hand-to-hand roll, so that's like what, 3d6 plus 6? or some shit. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Sorry.
I try and make it painless, you know, make it quick.
Yeah. You're not trying to kill him. You just wanted to knock him out. So
Yeah.
like, you're taller than him, so you are like holding him the way you were and the way he was flailing. He's a little bit off the ground. So you apologize and then let go. His hands are still zip tied and his mouth's still covered. He drops to the ground and kind of stumbles a bit and he just goes, "Huh?" And then you just crack the back of his neck, like right where his head meets his neck. And there's just a moment where he just wiggles and like wobbles and then just crumples like a
catch him.
paper towel.
I'll catch him. I'm not gonna let him fall, but yeah.
You grab the back of his shirt and then he just like is again like a wet towel just dragging on the ground.
I'll lay him like on the floor, I guess, behind the desk, just so a little more time to
Put him in the closet with the other guards.
No.
You
Stack 'em up.
It's like Hitman. You can only put 2 in a single place. So you you drag him behind the desk and just kind of flop him on the ground.
Hmm.
Marcus, meanwhile, is standing with his back to the door, like covering up the door just in case, or more like barricading it. And he's
Mhm.
watching this whole thing transpire, and he just goes, okay, well, he's not dead, right?
Do you listen?
He blinks and just goes, I usually do. You hit him really hard. That's the last thing that I heard was the crack.
And what did I say when we first met? At the cafe?
Something about not killing people?
So you do listen.
He just nervously just slides out of the way of the door.
I guess we don't really need to break the door handle anymore, so that works.
Some more time.
I
Kai
like
can probably
breaking
fuck
all
with
the
it.
door handles are going to be useful here.
Yeah, just break it.
Yeah, can I break the door handle from the inside rather than the outside?
So it is like a lever door handle rather than a knob. So if you want to break it, you want to just like snap it clean off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can roll an attack to do that.
Okay.
A tough attack. I'll say roll as an improvised weapon because it's not technically like a hand-to-hand fight. You're just going to try and muscle snap it off.
That's true. Well, actually, would Marcus be better at this?
You could ask him. You didn't say that you were breaking the handle. I just assumed you were going to walk over and be like, all right, cool,
No.
and then try to just...
Alright, I'll try and do it first then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you walk over to it, and then Marcus gets out of the way. You pull the door open, and like as the door, you make sure it's not latched shut, and then you bear down on it and just pop off the lever, and it is totally severed.
And I'll turn the light off in the room too.
Okay, you give a quick flick of the lights, and now it is dark. There is no window in there.
Ouch.
And
Everyone out.
Don't got jealous twice.
Marcus, like, looks at the situation, and he just goes, okay, and then slides out of the room. And then he does a quick peek down the hallway. Let's see. I will roll a D100.
Oh no.
I've been working this entire time, though.
Please,
Yes.
They've been doing
please
shit.
finish what you're doing quickly. I don't want to have to injure another civilian.
So he peeks around the corner, and there's a lot of like hustle and bustle and movement, but nobody seems to be looking down in this direction. There's not a lot of people who would be moving in this direction to look down the hallway. So Marcus, with a quick glance, is just like, okay, we're good, it's good. And then he hustles back into the security room. Legacy, what were you doing again? You were looking through the cameras.
So he's looking through the cameras to first, like, see, like, essentially position herself in her head.
Yes.
And then,
Okay.
But then, as they are doing all of this, because that's going to take a couple minutes,
Mhm.
she wants to find the camera that was in this section of the hallway, and we'll try to do two things. She wants to try and delete video
Okay.
from the past, like, 15, 20, I don't know, how long they've been here. And then loop the video for this hallway.
Okay, so it's easy enough for you to figure out which camera you are looking for, because you can cycle through all of them and find that without having to roll. Then when you find it, you need to delete it, which you need administrator privilege, which means you're going to need to hack it.
Yep.
And this is probably pretty easy for you, considering what it is. So
And
I
it
imagine
has a
you'll be able to do
security
it.
system.
it is.
And I still have the advantage. One left.
Okay. So easy. You like it's like administrator privilege. That's it. That's all they have. Just a one box of just enter a password. This is nothing. So you easily break through that. And then you take whatever video you have and delete it. You can delete as much footage as you want. If you only want to delete the past, like, however long you've been here, you can. You can also view the previous recordings if you wanted to look at any previous recordings.
I mean, she definitely wants to delete whatever was going on in this hallway up until they came in. So, like, or starting when they came in, so when the outside door opened. She'll kind of watch for a second them beating the shit out of Marcus and then get mad and then stop watching. And then she wants to loop this hallway out. Did she see anything else interesting to her cycling through the other ones?
So cycling through the other just like quick recordings. Roll me a clever check, and you can add
No. Well, no, you didn't. You Piper. Correct me
Hey,
if I'm
that's
wrong.
me.
What's his face doesn't have your phone anymore, right?
Right.
That was right, Connor.
Correct.
Okay. So never mind.
I'm streaming.
So they don't know where they are. So I was like, ask him what floor they're on, but no.
I think she gave the room number that Cosmic was in still to you.
Okay. She would have, like, I guess, tried to see if she spotted this or Cosmic or Too Cute or anything. Because you said she figured out pretty fast which cameras were to watch floors.
Yeah, so you go flip all the way to the floor that you know Lindis would be on, and it's a pretty deserted floor, so you just start fast forwarding through footage. And at a certain point, you see Lindis, Too Cute, and Cosmic walking down the hallway and into the room. And then after a while, like a few minutes, there's a guard that walks up, and this guard is like awkwardly like kind of drumming his fingers together like a nervous boy about to ask a girl to prom. And then he knocks on the door, assumes a very, very rigid like official stance. Then Lindis comes out, there's an exchange, you can't hear it. And then like Lindis opens the door and goes back inside, and the guard like walks back down the hallway, just kind of a little bit more like chipper in his step until he gets about like 40 or so feet away, about halfway down the hall, and then he turns back into soldier mode. That whole thing is really weird looking. You don't know what the fuck happened, but it's fine. You know that Lindis is there with Too Cute. And then a few minutes after that, Too Cute and Lindis both walk out into the hallway. Too Cute has a bat. And as they're leaving, they both look back, and you assume that they're talking to Cosmic, and they say goodbye in some way. Too Cute pulls out her phone and tosses it to him. And then they both walk down the hallway and over to an elevator, to which you sync up the time, jump to the camera that would be at the elevator, watch them get in and go downstairs. And when you snap to the downstairs video, you see them getting out of the elevator, but a few steps. And then they take a few steps back. Too Cute starts to look visibly more tense, and then Joseph Diego walks onto the camera scene. And behind him is walking some red Power Ranger ass looking cyborg motherfucker who you've never seen before, but this dude is kitted the fuck out. He doesn't have any visible gun or sword of any kind, but he is wearing a very, very high quality suit of armor. And Joseph Diego is, of course, carrying himself with this very, very, like, rigid but expensive, like, I'm richer than you posture. There's an exchange between him and Lindis, and then they all walk into the elevator together, and the elevator doors close. You scan through every floor, and don't see them get off the elevator.
So yeah, the Lacey does all of that, makes that, like, watches that, and the rest of you just hear Legacy cussing in every way imaginable, and just non-stop, no extra words, just filth, as she does what she was planning on doing of deleting the video and trying to loop the hallway.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, so like, Marcus watching over your shoulder, he just there. When Joseph Diego walks on screen, he's just like, "Is that the CEO? Is he in the building?"
Didn't he ask us yesterday?
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's true. Yeah, he did. Whatever, it's fine. He's like, that's he looks and sees that he's talking to Lindis, and he's like, does the CEO of Tatsuo know your roommate? Who do your roommates not know?
It's a long story, and she should not be talking to him. He shouldn't be talking to her, but she should definitely not be talking to him. And then they disappeared there. Oh boy.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
There was an elevator camera, right?
Yes.
Does it show what buttons get pushed?
It doesn't have the view from it is like with the door to the bottom left corner side, so you can't actually see what button is pushed. But what you do see is they're in the elevator talking. The exchange is very like tense looking. And Joseph Diego he scans a card, and then the elevator starts to go up.
And Legacy can put 2 and 2 together of the only place that there is no cameras that she is aware of that is up is the presidential suite.
Yes.
And she can't find them on any cameras. So it has to be the one place that she knows of that doesn't have cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Panic Legacy.
So
But
roll me. This is the thing. So after you figure out what happened, you figure out that they're in the presidential suite. You start to piece it together. You like, in your haste of the slurry of curses and frustration, you're deleting the footage. No problem. Then roll me one more D100. 76. Okay.
my D100s have been like remarkably in the same like 20 points for the most part.
It's
Okay.
it's a little unfortunate. So
I know.
you are explaining what happened, and Marcus is like, does your roommate know them? And then there's that whole exchange. And is there any last thing you want to do?
Do I successfully loop the video?
Oh yes, yeah. That's easy for you to maneuver to manage, and I would say that at this point, with the amount of effort you could put in, you could like you don't have a video editing software, but what you know how to do is like delete part of a section of video, and then just stick different sections of empty video together. And you do that. It takes another couple seconds, it takes another like 2 or 3 minutes, but you manage to do that so that you wouldn't have it for the whole building. You're doing it for this exit.
Yes.
Okay, then yeah.
She knows that's not gonna be both timely and or worth it. But at least they have a way of hiding where they came in and what they did at that moment, and maybe hiding their way out. Yeah, as soon as she gets that done, because this is just video here, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. There's no audio.
Well, but there's not like access to any like security database or anything like that. It's just the cameras.
There's a list of like people who are not allowed on the premises, and there's like reports for like security incident X, Y, and Z and stuff like that. But there's like, do you want to go through those?
No, it was more of like, is there a way of like her faking a key card in here, or
No, but you do have a front desk worker in a different room.
Yep.
that is unconscious.
He
This
probably
is
has
true.
a card or something.
But he might have a master key.
Well, Kaya did search him.
Yeah.
You searched him. I thought you were just looking for his phone, because you found the phone easy enough.
Yeah, but like, I imagine she's pissed off. She just takes everything he has on him.
You take, okay, great. So you have his wallet, you have his car keys, you have both of his phones. He had a like a couple of coupons and shit in his back pocket, like a coupon book that isn't like used. It's like one of those complimentary ones. And then you also find a key card in his wallet. Also, go ahead and give yourself 2 cash. Because he also just took the money out of his wallet.
Yeah. She's pissed off. It's just about speed. She just takes whatever she can fucking get her hands on. She's not gonna sort through it and leave him his wallet. Fuck that guy.
Gotcha.
Legacy finishes up with the cameras and shit, and immediately pops out and looks straight at Kaya, and just, fucking goddamn, Lindis is with Diego in the top floor.
Motherfucker.
Of course she is.
Alright, well, holds up fucking guy's wallet, flips through his fucking coupon, like, keycard? Does that work?
He scanned something in the elevator, maybe. But let's hope. We need to go. We need to go.
Alright, let's move.
So, Legacy, as you are hurrying everyone towards the elevator, you hear over the radio. I assume you've just been like unconsciously flipping through it just to make sure you don't miss a beat.
Yeah.
So you're flipping through it. You flip onto what you know as the HVAC channel, and you hear like, wait, dude! And then there's a cut, and after a half-second pause where you're like, wait, what the fuck? Was that screaming? There is a thundering explosion that shakes the entire building. And everyone make... What is everyone's quick defense?
11.
7, 11...
Hi, but I have other shit that adds to it. Hold on. Quick defense is the one good thing that I have. That does damage. 13.
Okay. So, you are fine. Everyone else falls to the ground. Like, the rumble of something hitting the building. There is an explosion. You hear glass shattering. There's, like, the quake shakes everything all the way to the foundation. Legacy's left standing, but only just, like, barely. You hear over the comms, like, just absolute chaos. There are so many people screaming and freaking out, and you hear one more word, and you hear one more clean transmission, and then the line goes totally dead, and the only transmission is open fire. And
Wait, so that's open fire on the HVAC channel?
yes,
Okay. So, Legacy, everybody else goes down, falling on their ass. Legacy just crouches, like curled up around the jacket helmet, and hears that, and freezes. They're shooting at something. Why are they shooting at something?
as you hear that, you hear the sound of like high speed gunfire just.
At the hotel?
You're not sure. You don't hear any parts of like the glass in a nearby area breaking. There's smoke and dust and debris and everything is falling off the shelves. It looks like the place got hit by an earthquake. And you hear gunfire like a chain gun opening up. You're not sure where the bullets are going, but you hear it. And as that's going on, I think right about now is a good time for a 5-minute break so I can get some water because I am very thirsty, and then we will come back and introduce a new character.
Oh boy.
Holy fuck.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's only been 2 hours.
Piper.
It's only been 2 hours.
Do not complain. You're the one with the dumbass character that went into the room with the devil.
Also, we keep getting random encounters.
Mm-hmm.
We got really unlucky with all those luck rolls.
Because D100 is Call of Cthulhu logic, so low
Yep.
is good.
Fuck.
Mm.
I can only imagine what Marcus thinks of Lockhart and Kaya right now. Just the legacy. Who the fuck are your roommates?
He's deep into that particular well. They're beating
Yeah.
the shit out of people, hog tying them without any issue. Linda's over here talking to Diego like it's nothing.
Oh my fucking god.
What?
Just. Oh god, I was not expecting anything like this. Holy fuck.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's hope fucking Neon doesn't get shot. In the...
Okay.
If Neon is like introduced and then immediately killed, I think Piper's just gonna rage quit everything.
That is not going to be the case. So
Okay,
we're going to cut back in time and change the camera focus to.
Piper's in the restroom.
Wait, she's not here.
Bye.
You said 5-minute break. It's been like a minute.
Yeah, Piper was upset that she hasn't played yet, and I had plans.
You fuck. Stop.
Also, just goddamn, Joe. I appreciate you narrating Kai being really angry.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
I also realized that like I take a lot of liberty with certain things where it's like legacies like, hey, I want to make a thing, so can I start MacGyvering that together? And I was like, okay, yeah, you like bump Kaya, and Kaya just gives you some extra trash to do whatever.
I mean, it 100% works between Legacy and Kaya, both because of their general specialties and the shit that they do, and them both being the scavenger trait or background or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
They're both just used to having random shit and expect each other to have random shit on each other at all the time.
Yeah, just fucking, hey, do you have like this big piece of scrap metal? Yeah, here you go. They're both pack rats of random shit.
Not random shit. Technology random shit.
Okay, you have how many cans of empty Red Bull cans do you have in your bag?
That's less pack rat, that's more addiction problem.
Those are empty cans, you said to make EMPs.
I didn't say that she had a whole bunch of those. I think she only had like the one or two that she drank that morning.
No. I was just imagining you taking like 5.
Oh well, I mean, yeah, I did forget that she did just grab a bunch
Mhm.
from the floor, but
Yeah.
that was her with intention of like, throw, like, I don't have any weapons, I do not fight, but I can make something that pops or goes boom.
Free aluminum.
The Castile de Red Bull.
That is not even, that's not like pack rat, that was with intention.
Yeah.
And as soon as they are done, if she decides, okay, we're not using this or this is not useful, she's just tossing them.
It's
It's not
great.
like she's not gonna like empty a case of Red Bull within a week anyway.
A week? Really?
Depends on the size of the case.
Eh. I'm so glad Mini Larry came to help. Oh boy.
I feel bad that the instinct is okay. That didn't work. Okay, go in a fucking fight mode.
I'm
Oh.
honestly shocked you didn't just be like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, just go right over here and crack and just punch him in the side of the head as soon as he walked past you.
I was trying to be nice, but eh.
I was kind of wishing you like let her roll something just like to intimidate the fuck out of him. Just like, because there is the like, okay, this person is lying, but then also there should be some small like kernel of self-preservation that's like, okay, this person is lying, but this person is also like taller than me and very much looks like they could beat the shit out of me. So do I want to call that bullshit?
It's better that it happened this way because he would have just called security. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to knock him out. Like, I really didn't want to.
I mean,
But I'm just like, this is the easier route.
Kai gave you the option to zip tie his legs.
Yeah, he was being difficult.
Yeah.
I tried.
Just do this.
Yeah, I love that scene.
What scene?
Exactly.
Hey, what's in there? Nothing. Nothing is in there.
Legacy is 100% clocking all the bullshit that Marcus is doing, though. It's like, you are more than I was expecting.
You're a bad influence on him. That's what's happening here. I just love the mental image of just like Legacy hacking in the other room while fucking Lockhart and Kaya are just like figuring out what to do with this guy, rifling through his pockets, tying him up, and just Marcus just like what the fuck is happening? Watching everything.
Well, I mean, he's used to the Legacy shit at this point, at the very least.
Yeah.
He has been other than her parkour shit, he has seen 99% of what Legacy does.
True.
Piper is just about back.
Nice.
Hey. What's the phrase again? It's called? I think that's what it is.
But also at the same time, Legacy's like, I really want to like tear apart those arms and figure out how the fuck they're working. They're like, that's kind of, I want to figure out how that works. Which is not a good place.
Okay, you good, Piper?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright.
Yes, and I know that I did not finish all of the components to all of the custom classes yet. That is
It's okay.
hard.
That's okay. If you need input, ask for help.
this. I need to plug in my headphones so they don't die. So, we are going to cut back in time just a little bit. And we're going to pick up with a particular neon ninja who is inside the hotel. Now, you have been you actually have been corralled here after the place started to get really like locked down and concentrated. You were shepherded in here, communicating with Too Cute all the while, as she had fed you information about her location and about what her plans were. And she said that she was coming here to get one of her friends or something. And it was, I mean, that's fine. But you did not want her going alone, so you saddled up to help. Unfortunately, it's just you and her right now. But after she said that she had been like pushed into this hotel a little bit forcefully, you made your way here, got spotted by PMCs, but you were also close enough proximity that you were corralled into this hotel. You saw there was by the time you were pulled in here, there was a crowd that had been talking about Too Cute and how they had seen her here, and they were excited about her exploits, and they wanted to get her autograph or whatever. And you're like, okay, well. So you took it upon yourself to just kind of lay low for a little bit and then try to get some information and just keep your ear to the ground. Roll me a cool check to information gather. Piper? You're muted.
Sorry, I thought I unmuted.
Oh, you're good.
Hang on. I forgot I have to put like zeros and everything. That's not how that works. Am I doing something wrong?
Sure. If you want to just roll it as, did that not
3
roll
plus 1
correctly?
plus 3. Oh, it did. I'm figuring out the kinks.
Oh, so it's a 7?
Piper says yes.
Okay. So you're not really like you hear a little bit of just generic rumors, people talking about how they are excited
One
about this
second, though.
person. Oh, okay.
You're cutting, like, you have a huge delay and
Check.
you can barely hear you. There you go.
Oh,
Hello?
hello.
Better?
Hello.
Okay. Continue.
Okay. So, as you just casually meander through the crowd of people, nobody really seems to pay much mind to you. They're all kind of in their own little world. But you pick up this vague sense of just there's a pervasive sense of anxiety and also a pervasive sense of trust in Tetsuo. One of the things that you were a bit confused about was why people were so willing to just throw their trust into this corporate like shit of a person. But as you are like maneuvering and picking up this information, you get wind of a big commotion outside, and as you are ducking away into the corner, you see outside the this ornate, unusual looking ship land, an HVAC that is unlike any other HVAC you've ever seen. So as it lands and it has its like floating staircase open up, you watch as one of the biggest bastards of all time traipses right in through the front door like it's no big deal, and you are just dumbfounded that he would show up here. But as he does, you start to see that this pervasive sense of trust grows. And he is doing this as this sort of PR stunt. And all these people who are here, all of them start to flock around him as if he's some kind of like superhero savior who is sworn to his allegiance to the people and is going to protect them or something. And he gives a speech much about the same sort of, or very similar to that sort of vibe. Excuse me. And you watch this whole exchange go down, and he starts to be shepherded off. There's a handful of guards that are in the room. A lot more have moved in with him. They're not following him per se. There is this red-dressed or red, like, combat soldier-looking person that is following him around. And you can tell from looking, that armor, that is like a high-grade, like, extra military type of design. It's like they took a military-grade thing and pulled it into a private lab to do whatever personalizing they wanted to. But that thing is, whatever is wearing that armor is dangerous. And this is the first you're seeing it. This isn't someone who was always following Joseph Diego around. So he gives his speech, is shepherded towards the elevator, and you try to push through the crowd to get a good view of him. As you get closer, you see him bump into some pink-haired girl, and behind her, with a baseball bat slung over her shoulder and the same familiar scowl on her face, you see Too Cute. And Too Cute, you can read in her body language that she is furious. But she's always been good at controlling her temper. So you're not too worried about her. You watch this exchange happen with the few of them, and they jump in the elevator and start to go up. And as they do, you are left to your own devices for the time being. There's a little bit more time of just gathering information and kind of trying to understand what's going on here, as it's being framed as this reclamation or not reclamation, but as a restoration event, though it doesn't seem like there's any sort of restorative tech here. They're using their HVACs to pull in military force, and it seemed like they were primed to do it. This was something that you, as you were making your way here, you barely got in under the wire before they closed Sishin Ward, because they were on your tail, not like following you, but on the heels of the last shipment of people you were a part of, closing this place down. And the sheer amount of numbers and force that are moving in here in such a short amount of time gives this uneasy sensation of preparedness for war. You're not sure if this is the precipice of another corporate war, or if this is just like some type of corporate like fiasco that requires a gross military amount or a gross private military intervention. But it's kind of hard to gather that sort of information in this like public area. So you elect to do a little bit of extra sleuthing. As you kind of come to this conclusion, there's a brief moment, or not a brief moment, as this all happens and you have gathered your information and had all of this transpire, you peer out into through the glass walls. You can see the guards have surrounded the front of the building. At this point, your way out is going to be either through the basement in some tunnels, or it's going to be out of a very high window, and you are going to have to figure out some kind of way to fall a bunch of floors without dying. It's definitely possible, but very, very tricky. As you are dealing with this and understanding like what the play and trying to make a plan, there is an explosion outside and down the street that you have no idea what the source of that is. This wasn't something that you had planned. This is just raw chaos at this point. That explosion goes off, and the whole group of people in this area who are kind of corralled here are panicking and starting to freak out, which the PMCs immediately descend on the situation and start to hush the crowd to gain control of the situation, make sure that they can maintain an air of order and superiority. So as they're doing that, you are able to take you're able to take advantage of this unusually potent distraction. So you slip away and manage to sneak over to the elevator. Knowing Too Cute, you check your phone. She has sent you a message telling you that what room she was in, and that she and Lindis had gone up to talk to Joseph Diego. And at that moment, you start to realize how dangerous things are getting. Things are starting to escalate faster and faster and faster. So you run into the elevator. You can't get to the presidential suite, but you can get to her room.
Yeah.
So you punch in the elevator button, go up to the second highest floor, and you are able to run down to her room and find it. And that is where we're going to pick up with you. Having just found her room.
I don't know Cosmic is in there, right?
Yes, you don't know he's in there. You know that Too Cute has said it's her and Lindis and Cosmic, but you don't know that he's in there.
Okay. But since I know there's a chance it could be in there, I will try simply knocking first.
Gotcha. So you knock, and there is a noticeable silence. And after a minute, you hear, who's there?
Does he know me?
Cosmic knows of you, but not by your face. He knows you as... This Cosmic is someone that you are aware of from Too Cute, and he is aware of you, but you've never actually had the opportunity to meet you've never actually met him.
It's Noel. I'm a friend of Too Cute.
Okay. Well, hold on. And then you hear this shunk. The door cracks open, and you see Cosmic standing there, just sandals and shorts and a t-shirt. You can see in one hand he has his phone, and in the other he's like holding two other phones. or not two other phones. He's holding another phone, and he just kind of dumbly looks and says, unfortunately, Too Cute's like, she went to go fight cops.
Yeah, she left you her phone. That's a sign that says she's not planning on coming back anytime soon. May I?
I roll a cool check. It's not to intimidate him so much as it is to just gain his trust a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put on the charm. Manipulation?
You can, I would count this as manipulation. Okay, so he looks uneasy, and he looks at the phone, but he doesn't have any. He trusts you more than he would trust like a random PNC guy. So he just hands over the phone very slowly and just goes, should I do something? Should I call the police or?
No, trust me. You do not want to get the police involved on this. I would suggest you pretend to be asleep or something, because it's probably going to get a little wild around here.
Oh, okay. He just, like, awkwardly stands there, not sure what to do next. Where is she exactly? Well, they...
Well, presently she's with the CEO of Tetsuo right now.
He
Did either of them
blinks.
say anything to you?
No, not really.
Well, that's probably for the best. Okay, no information, no nothing. I need to get into that penthouse.
Oh. Good luck, I guess.
Remember, pretend to be asleep.
Uh,
Takes her phone and walks out.
he
We
watches
never met.
you. He watches you start to walk away, and he just goes, okay, and like looks down at his phone and looks back into the room, and he's got a very, very worried look on his face, but he just backs up, and you hear the click of the door as it slides closed and latches shut.
Okay. I need a housekeeping room.
Mm-hmm. So, with you, it doesn't take you but a few seconds. You run down one hallway, check, vending machine hallway. Run up to the next one, ice hallway, and right behind it, the housekeeping room. You run over to that. The door is locked.
How's it locked?
It's just like a handle. Like the handle is locked. Like the little push the button on the handle that stops it from turning.
Can I try and like take my hairpins out of my hair and try and pick the lock?
Yeah. 100%. 100% can.
Awesome.
Are you rolling quick, or do you have the thing that lets you roll cool?
I have cool for stealth or sneak. Is that?
You
didn't give me anything specifically.
That's
for unlock.
true. That's true. I will say roll quick for this, and I'll see if I can come up with a thing that lets you use cool for other stuff.
Sleight of hand.
Yes, it would be a sleight of hand, lock picking, whatever type of thing like that.
Okay.
So you flick around your hairpin and start jiggling with the lock, and you almost feel it. It's just you're like tugging at the last little tumbler in this thing, but it's just out of reach. You can roll one more time before it starts to get difficult.
Okay. I'll try one more time, and if not, I have a backup plan. Okay, back onto the backup plan.
Okay, try a little bit harder or a little bit longer, and it's just you think your bobby pin is not quite long enough, even folded out. So yeah, backup plan.
I need to go find a door that looks like nobody's on the other side of it, like maybe like a vacant room or something.
Sure, you can see that there's a couple of little hangers on doors. The ones without hangers are occupied, so you go up to one with a hanger, and it's flipped to welcome. It's like flipped to the welcome home one.
Right. Do I see like that any housekeepers are coming around, looking around?
Not right now. No, at least not on this floor.
I need to get one over here somehow.
Okay. You can go and run down to a lower floor to see what floor they might be on.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what floor, what door it's on. I just need a floor with the housekeeper in it. It doesn't have to be this floor precisely.
Okay. So you rush. Are you taking the elevator or stairs?
I'm patient. Stairs.
Okay. So you rush back to the end of the hallway, hit the stairwell, go down the next floor, poke your head out into the hallway, and as you do, you can see on one end, far down the hallway, there is a housekeeper's cart on the floor immediately below, and the door is open. But between you and that cart, there is a group of guards that have just arrived from the top of the elevator and are beginning to patrol.
That's okay. I'm not trying to steal from them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait till the housekeeper begins to get on her rounds again, basically. Okay? You're gonna love this.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to a vacant door, and I am going to completely strip naked.
I knew this was coming.
Fucking god.
I knew this was coming. I was waiting for it.
Out of sight.
So
Oh my god.
you're gonna wait for the housekeeper to get all the way down to your end of the hall?
So when he turns the hall, I'm already, like, completely bare.
Wait. Hold on. let me draw this so I can understand exactly what's happening, because this is bewildering me.
Amy and Iris know what's going on.
Oh my fucking and Iris. Iris knows.
I said Iris.
Yeah, I thought I didn't. God damn
Yeah,
it! Stop using leverage.
No.
Okay, so this is where you are in the stairwell, and you see the housekeeper's cart down here, and then there is a group of guards right
Oh,
here. They
I
just
need a-
walked off the elevator.
I need a room that is not occupied, first of all. So where's the room that is not occupied?
Oh, there's one easily like right over here.
Okay, so I need one that's like around a corner or something, basically. And I'm gonna wait like right here, completely naked. So when the housekeeper comes on their inspection, they see me.
Okay. How do you? So you run up to the door, but it is
In front of
locked.
it. No, yeah, it's locked. No?
Yes. So the hotel room.
Yes, the hotel's room's locked. I'm standing
Yeah.
in front of it, completely naked.
Okay.
Just work with me here, Joe.
I just want to make sure that I understand what's going on. So you strip naked in front of a locked door?
Yes, and I hide the
Okay.
clothes somewhere.
Okay.
We'll show you the episode later.
Okay. So you are
I'm
standing.
already looking it up.
You are standing naked in front of this locked door. I assume that this part of this plan is predicated on the fact that you as you go over there, you strip naked, grab the little dangly off the handle, and then
Yeah.
toss it away with your clothes.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a quick, or not a quick check. Sorry. Roll me a stealth check to do with this, and I think you can do it with cool.
I can do it with cool, and I have a +2 because I have stealth. I have a +2.
Okay, that's more than enough. So you like dart out from the hallway. You can see those guards. They're not particularly like concerned with this portion of the hotel. They're just kind of mulling around the elevator. But you slide out, kind of press yourself against the doorway there, and you hide your clothes, get the thing off the handle, and now you are buck-ass naked. What happens now?
Okay, so now the housekeeper is going to come around the corner and see me. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you with me? I'm gonna like, oh, there you are. Thank goodness. I stepped out because I heard of an commotion, and the door shut in front of me. Do you think you can help me out here?
Yeah, like you see the housekeeper walk out, and she is like getting towels, and then she looks up, and then sees you, and then looks back down, and then looks up again, and just goes, and like covers her mouth, and she just goes, "Oh shoot, oh no," and like grabs the cart and just hustles over to you. And those guards see her, and they're like, "Hey," and she's like, "You avert your eyes," and then they're like, What?" And then she's like shooing at them, just like, "Don't look!" And then one of them starts to turn his head in that direction and just goes, "Oh!" And then he grabs the two shoulders of the other guys, and they're just like, and they point. He points them in the opposite direction of you, and this woman runs down to you, and she has like, she stops the cart like probably like right about here, and then she just walks over, and she has a bed sheet, and she throws the bed sheet over you, and just goes, oh my, okay, no, I've been there too, I understand. Here, let me just help you out. And she swipes the key and opens the door and
As she
pushes
does,
it in for you.
pickpocket the housekeeping key off of her.
Okay, roll a sleight of hand for that.
You're in for a wild ride today, Joe.
Jesus Christ. Fucking leverage.
Amazing.
It's
I love
leverage.
it.
It's always leverage, isn't it? It's leverage all the way
Or
down.
burn notice. Or burn
Or
notice.
Yep. I really need this key, so I'm gonna spend a prep to use this.
Boost?
Didn't even need it.
Okay. So she like swipes the door open, puts the key in the front part of her like like the cleaner pocket that she has on this sort of like smock. She turns back to grab like a towel, and as she turns away to like grab that, you just swoop. It's just cake. You grab it, swing it around, put it in the back of your hand, and hide it in the folds of the sheet that you're now covered in. And then she looks at you and just goes, "Here, just well, I think that sheet might be a little too thin for you."
Oh, it's okay. Now that I'm in, I can get changed. You're such a sweetheart, dear. Thank you.
"Oh, no problem, ma'am." And she backs up and just goes, "Whew, boy," and then starts to go back all the way to the opposite end of the hall.
Okay. Once she turns the corner, I'm gonna hold the door just like slightly ajar in case I need to get in again. I'm gonna retrieve my clothes and put them back on.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
I'm waiting patiently, Joe. I can wait.
No, it's for the guards, because like as they're so that you it's like for noise, like if they heard noise they would turn around to see. Okay, yeah. So you like poke, just carefully, don't let the door latch. You can hear her walking away. You poke your head out, and as she's passing the guards, she stops and turns and talks to them, and you can hear like some slightly aggressive exchange of words. And you just capitalize on that, dart over to the stairwell, grab your clothes, grab the little like door hangy, and then rush back in and let it quietly latch without a noise or without a sound.
Okay, so now I need to go get like a spare uniform from one of the housekeeping rooms.
Okay. So you have the key. Are you going to go back out to the next floor, or are you going to stay on this floor?
I'm gonna go up to a higher floor.
Okay,
Probably
so
the one
you
that I was back on earlier.
gotcha. So you rush out of you dip out of that room, go into the stairwell, and run back upstairs. This is the floor that Too Cute and Cosmic and everyone were on, and you hustle back over to that cleaning that storage room. And with the key, it's just easy. You slide it in, twist it, open it, no problem.
Okay, I'm going to get a spare uniform. Perhaps like what is the uniform for this?
Their uniform is very plain. It's just like a white button-down shirt and black trousers. The defining feature that would signify you as one of the housekeepers is the sort of like apron smock kind of thing that they would wear, and it has like the front pocket to it. And there's 2 or 3 of those hung up on little hangers on the inside of the door. So you can just grab one of those with no problem.
Okay. Would I be lucky enough that one of them has like a spare card key inside of them?
Oh, the key that you took, the door key, it is a card key, which will work on all the electric locks and all of the normal locks. Like it's not like a twisty key. It'll work on all the hotel doors. It'll work on the elevator, all that shit.
Okay, perfect. How much like where am I in the timeline compared to everybody else right now?
You are almost in tandem with them beating the shit out of some dude downstairs.
Okay.
We
I
did
just
not
wanna make
beat
sure
the
I'm not
shit out of
getting
him,
We did
okay?
not beat the shit out of. We just intimidated and gagged.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It was 1 hit. 1.
Controlled professional
Okay.
hit.
So I am going to try now and go to not the penthouse, but the floor directly underneath it.
You're already there.
Oh, I'm here already. Okay.
Yeah, they ordered. So Too Cute wanted the most expensive room that she could get. But she could not, but not the presidential suite because that one is far above her price range. But she got a very nice room on the 14th of 15 floors.
Okay. I'm going to try and get in an occupied room that would be like directly below the presidential suite, basically.
So you don't really know where the suite is located on the next floor, but just educated guess. Well, so you can run over to the window in one of these rooms. It's no issue for you to walk over to a room, swipe a key card, run over to the window, and then kind of like push your head against it and try to see above you. Roll me a clever check to see if how well you can like see like the from your kind of smushed head angle there.
Oh, hey, that's not
Yeah. So it's still kind of awkward, but you can see that there's a window, like very similar to how this is laid out. There is a window above the window you're currently at.
Okay.
So like, looking from the outside, you have your hotel window, and then some amount of space, and then there's the bottom part of another window. At least what you assume is the bottom part of another window. It looks like the same sort of like metal lip.
Okay, so once I'm in a room beneath the suite, I am going to prepare my surveillance suite.
Okay. So
It lets me see and hear through walls, basically. So I'm gonna prepare, and then I'm gonna like put my hands up to the ceiling, so I'm gonna basically listen in and see from directly below them.
okay. So you don't even need to go out of the window. You're just in the floor below them. You like look around, grab a rolly chair, and you're like, no, that's not safe. Then you grab the table, and then you grab a couple pillows and stack them on top of the table, and then clamber up on top of it, and put one foot on top of the coffee machine and one foot on the pillow pile, and stick the surveillance suite up on top so that it's pressed against the ceiling. Do you want to describe how like your character looks, like what they're wearing and what all their stuff that they've got away? Or do you want to do you want to wait till
I'll
everyone
wait
sees
till-
you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll wait till-
Okay, so you have your surveillance suite pressed right on the top of that area. And as you press it to the wall, you hear what sounds like very faint. It's not quite as close to where you imagine they would be, but you can still hear them. And well, you hear one person. You hear what sounds like ragged breathing and frustrated, like grunting and yelling, and like a thump, and then another thump, and then you hear this person say something to like, "I've got a plan," and you
Can I
hear
record
them.
this, by the way, just in case?
Sure, yeah, you can record this.
Okay.
So you, like, thinking quickly, you grab your phone and flip it to a recording and start to listen in to the best of your ability and record what you can hear. You hear radio HVAC 13. Or any of them. I don't care which one. Just radio one of them. Cut comms. Put them on a private line with me. There's no, you don't hear any audible reply.
So with my like thermal sighting or shape sighting, what do I see?
So it's a little difficult because there's a lot of material, but you can see you see 3 distinct heat sources. One of which they're distinctly human. 2 of which seem to be like bent in some irregular way on the ground. One of which is standing nearby another one, and another heat source which is distinctly much hotter and brighter standing off to the side.
So I see 2 bent thermal shapes.
Yeah, it looks like you're it's hard to tell from the angle you're at, but looking at it, you're kind of looking up at like a 45 or 50 degree angle to see where the the bodies are. But you can see that it's like if that were a person, they would have to be like on the ground. Like kind of like on their side or maybe on their stomach or balled up. But if it's a person, which it seems like it is just from the heat level, they're crumpled up on the ground. And then you can see 2 standing heat sources, one that is exceptionally hot and one that is normal human body temperature.
Okay, so he was saying put them on a private line. Does he resume speaking at some
Yes.
point? I didn't think.
He will start speaking again. So there's a pause, and then you hear, "Yes, I'm going to send you coordinates. I want you to fire a torpedo at those coordinates. No, I will not. Just do it." And then you hear him say, "Cut the line. Cut them from all comms. Sever that connection. Then put me in contact with the captain." There's another pause. "Captain, I've just been informed of something dangerous. I believe that there might be some terrorist cell operating nearby. I was told by a private party that they might have taken control of one of the HVACs. Someone inside our brigade. No. No. Yes. Run a sweep. If they're not part of us, you'll know. You have my permission." Good. And then there's, again, another finished pause. You can see the heat source turn towards the normal human one, turn towards the other and say, "Okay. You wait here, just in case anyone's stupid enough to come look." And then you watch as the heat source, like the human one, bends down and starts to grab the humans collected together. One of them is dragging the other 2 over to like further away from where your position is. So if you are on this, hold on. So if you are on like this side of the hotel, you can see like a heat source here, and then here, and then here, and then that really hot one standing right there. This one is dragging them this way. And it's not getting like fainter. He's getting more and more faint, but your surveillance suite it's not at risk of losing them.
Okay.
So you're just watching this transpire for a little bit. And not entirely sure what's going on. And after a brief delay, I keep saying that. Jesus Christ. After a delay of just after this silence, he stops, and then you see him start to arrange what you presume are people, either unconscious or maybe dead. You're not sure. And then after a pause, he steps back. You hear a thunk from the surveillance, like the auditory surveillance thing, and when you're looking, it's a little hard to tell, but it looks like he like kicked one, maybe. You're not certain, but there's the last thing you hear is, this is going to hurt. And then there is a intense whistling sound. You can hear this. It blows your ears out. It is so loud in that surveillance device. You can hear it without the surveillance device, but it catches you off guard because it comes out of seemingly nowhere. And then there's this massive explosion. And what is your quick defense?
13.
13? You stumble off of the pillows and like the coffee machine. You don't fall and like crack your head on the ground or anything, but you fall off of that ledge, and the whole building is shaking and rumbling. The window next to you, you can hear the warble, like the boom 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 of the glass shaking, and then it just and shatters. But it's like that sort of plain glass where it just folds into a bunch of like crystals but doesn't shatter. So there is a massive explosion. It shakes the foundation. You fall. You just right yourself up, and now your goggles, the heat goggles, they are blown out white. There's so many heat sources. There's fires. There's potentially more just ambient heat. There might be more people that showed up there, but you're pretty sure that that's not the case. But as you look, the only thing that you can distinctly see is that bright white heat source that has not changed. It didn't move. It's just standing there still. It's totally motionless.
Deduce that basically he ordered a torpedo strike on his roof, basically? Is that, and then the fire? The rest is fire all over the place?
The rest is just the massive collateral damage of some sort of explosive device hitting the roof. Yeah.
Okay.
As when you fall back to the ground, you have your surveillance device. It's like pointed in a different direction, and you can hear this like hurried scrambling of throngs of soldiers. Below you, those soldiers that were down there, you hear them like they're chattering on comms. They're just like, upstairs now! No, get every HVAC! And then there's chaos and everything is going wrong. But it's right around this time.
Mm-hmm.
Or not. Yeah, you guys are basically synced up. So.
Can I?
Huh?
Cosmics? Can I go to Cosmics?
Yes.
Cosmics room now? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you rush down to Cosmic's room,
Okay.
and bust open the door. Cosmic is on the floor, like there's a coffee machine is just destroyed, the TV is knocked on the ground, the chairs are thrown all over the place, and he's just like, "What's happening?"
We need to get out. Come on.
Oh, okay. And he awkwardly stumbles up, and he's really wobbly, like bad sea legs wobbly, and steps over the TV and just continues like he's not hurt, but he's just disoriented and very scared.
Yeah.
And he is like hurrying along with you.
Okay, I'll let you flip back to the others now. I figured
Okay.
a good spot to meet up.
Gotcha. So, back downstairs, the explosion has just happened. And then you hear that chain gun fire. After that chain gun fire, it stops very abruptly, and then you hear and a distant crash of what sounds like an HVAC going down. There's people screaming in the lobby. There is just utter chaos all around. There's panic. From where you're sitting, you can hear the hurried footsteps and stomps of various fire ants running up and down the hallways, trying to figure out what to do. Nobody near you, per se, but you can hear them just from the chaos going around. You can pick out the noise of hustled movement like that. Legacy, you still have the radio chatter up. Do you want to flip to a specific channel, or are you still scanning?
She's still kind of scanning.
Okay. So scanning through, you hear just utter distress on every channel. The one silent channel still remains. There is another channel that different from the first one that was silent. So here, I'll draw this so it's a little bit less like ambiguous. So you have hotel, you have outside, you have HVAC, then you have silent, and then you have the other silent. This one, that's the one that you heard noise on, where it sounded like somebody saying, like, yes, do it, or whatever.
Fire.
And there was fire. And then this one now has erupted, and there's medical calls being made. It's just like, we need medics here, we need medics there, we've got wounded, but it is now blaring. And this other one, the top one, is now totally silent.
Okay.
Marcus is like standing up from the ground, and he's like, what just happened?
Legacy, because she managed to keep her footing, as soon as she heard the fire and had her mini freak out, she would have just bolted down the hallway to try and get a better idea of what was going on.
Okay, is anyone following her?
Once they get off their asses.
Yeah, once they get off their asses. So Marcus sees you bolt, and he just goes, shit, and then he's stumbling upward, falls, catches himself, and he's like, okay, let's go. And he goes over and grabs Kaya and helps Kaya up. Legacy, you just haul ass down to the end of the hall. As you run all the... Oh, shit, I accidentally backed out of the game. That's not what I wanted to do. So you haul ass down to the end of the hall. Just totally... I assume you're just totally foregoing any attempt at trying to look like you belong there or be stealthy, because at this point it's chaos.
Yeah.
Okay, so you run to the end of the hall, and then you're just trying to get an idea and assess the situation. You can see that there is just debris and parts of other various structures just destroyed on the front side of the building. You can also see that there is a large amount of there's a large number of fire ants that have come back, and they are radioing for help. You can hear them actually radioing and reaching out to local authorities now. You hear calls of just it's an attack of some kind. It's a coordinated strike. You're not sure. They've got an HVAC. It is utter chaos. Some of the fire ants have, in a strange show of, like, it's unusual to see it now, having sort of been on the opposite end of it, but they have corralled around the group of people on the inside of the hotel, guns pointed outward as if they're like looking for the person who's going to charge in and try to take care or like take out all these innocent people. So nobody's really paying attention to you at all. You can see that the elevator is still working and it's on its way down, it looks like. Everyone eventually starts to catch up to you. And you all see this carnage and chaos and entire just like almost battle zone has broken out. There's no gunfire being exchanged, at least none that you can understand, at least not anymore. The chatter of the radios continues to be chaos. Some of the fire ants are starting to organize and start to maneuver over towards the fire escape. And as they move towards you, they without any really real regard, they just like, get out of the way, we have to get to the stairs, and start to push past. And they go over to the stairs, they pull the door open, engage the lock on the door so it just hangs, and start to run up the steps.
Fuck.
Marcus, watching this, is just like, what do we do? What the fuck's happening?
Something shot the building, I think, and yeah, there's more gunfire. I don't know. It's not the thing. I don't think it's a thing. I didn't hear anything saying it's a thing, so it's something else. It's just like kind of like hopping from like one foot to the other a little bit, like wanting to run somewhere, not quite sure where.
Okay.
Oh. My bad.
Iris. Oh no!
Look. Fuck. Alright, look. We still gotta find Lynn.
She would be at the very, very top, and I don't know. Depending on where they shot, I don't know how we can get there. She would be at the very top.
Making my way. We can cut back to Neon in a moment.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, don't push. Don't have fun with them. I was just asking a question.
No, you're good. So, as you are trying to discuss and figure out what to do, Lockhart, you check the back door. You find that the door itself is in an emergency situation. It is it unseals, goes straight into the ceiling, and recedes so that it's an always open exit.
Good.
And there's a little red light that's blinking, and you can hear this soft beep, beep, beep.
Like an emergency siren, essentially.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's emergency sirens that are going off, and all the automatic doors that exist are opened.
I want to try and assess what's going on outside because the whole fucking building shook.
Okay. So are you running out that back entrance to see what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. So you run back out that way. It's a little tight, but you squeeze through, get over to an area where you're at the front. You don't even have to leave the alleyway. As you pull around the corner, you can see a trail of smoke from what you assumed to be an HVAC that you heard go down. It plummets into a part of the city that is outside of your view. That smoke line of black smoke just goes off into a different part of the city. More or less towards the way that Veloska's shop would be, in that direction. As you see that, you look down to the front and you see several HVACs starting to ground, and like outside, out of them pour fire ants. Doors open, they're starting to shepherd people away. In the distance, you can see different wards have started sending emergency service HVACs, some of them medical, some of them security. The government has officially started to step in and try to do what the government does.
What government?
Yeah. But you see HVACs in the distance coming down to this location. You see, as you are getting like assessing the situation, it seems like there is a panic and an anxiety of some unknown source. Like, so everyone's panicking because they think they're under attack from someone, but they don't know who.
This may be a dumb question, but is the obelisk still there?
It's still there.
Okay. Are the HVACs trying to, like, get people away kind of thing? Like
Yeah.
is this okay. So it's
looks
not like...
it is an effort to, like, evacuate people.
Okay. Okay, how rough does the building look?
From where you're standing, it's difficult to tell, but you look at the building, the side that you're near, you look up, it seems fine, it seems fine, it seems fine, and then all the way at the top, you see a plume of smoke, a just burning black pillar of smoke at the top of the building.
Yeah, I'll head back to the group then. I just wanted to see if there was any other shit going on outside. So.
Okay, yeah, you run back in. Marcus, like, looks at the elevator and then just goes, there's other stairwells, other elevators. Should we try to go up and get your friend? Your roommate?
I guess we.
Yes. We're not leaving Lynn behind.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. And Marcus, like, elects to take initiative, and he runs over to the elevator and just slams on the button. Not hard enough to break it, but you felt like he probably could if he wanted to. After a pause, the elevator's like dings. It was already at the base floor. And you're taking it. There's multiple elevators in this hotel. You're taking one that's much further to the side than the one where some of the fire ants are going. You also see that there are fire ants going upstairs. You jump in the elevator, hit the button, start rising to the top floor. Or rather, not hit the button, you swipe the card, the all access pass card, and go to the presidential suite.
Wait,
The door. Huh?
We make sure that Lockhart's with us.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lockhart ran back inside.
Yeah, basically when how I kind of see it is when Legacy and everyone went to like the main hall, she backtracked and then came back, kind of thing. Does that make sense? Is that possible?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's totally possible. Let me see. So, so you are rushing up in the elevator. When you swipe the card and hit like the top button, it's an unlabeled button. The elevator does not stop at any other floor. It just goes. So it's going up and up and up. And then we'll cut back to Neon. Neon, after that explosion happened, you got Cosmic. You see out from the stairwell on one far side of the room busts like tens of 20s of whatever. I don't know if I can say not 100, but like between like 40 or 50 different like fire ants start to pour in and filter around the area. They don't immediately stop. They don't immediately stop when they see you. They're rushing up to the top, and as they get closer and closer and closer, they realize they start to look over towards you. You are near a stairwell if you wanted to go in and go up or down, but they look over and they're like, "We got civilians," and they start walking in your direction.
Can you get us to the ground floor where it's safer?
They run. One of them walks over and just goes, "Yeah, come with me. We'll evacuate you."
Okay.
And they start to grab you and rush downstairs.
Okay.
You go in a stairwell and head all the way to the bottom. As you are going to the bottom, the elevator reaches the top floor. The door opens. Legacy, Lockhart, Kaya, and Marcus. The door opens to broad daylight, and a plume of smoke starts wafting in front of you. Just black burning chemical smoke billowing out of this destroyed, blasted building. And you can see this there's a group of fire ants who are already up here, and they are just securing the area, kind of maneuvering everything. A few of them look over and see you, and they start to rush back, and they're like, "More civilians," and they start to move in your direction.
Fucking. You said it's like this whole place is destroyed. You said.
Yeah, the entire upstairs suite. It's open sky. There is no roof.
Oh, Legs. You said she was here.
This is the only place I could think she'd be.
No, there's no way she's here. They're evacuating people. Right?
Looking around frantically, did we spot anything
Yeah.
pink?
Just looking around in the area, there's fires and debris. You don't see any people. There's fire ants that are like combing the area, and you can see them like sifting through debris, moving rocks. They've turned into an actual relief crew at this point. And the one that gets closer and closer is like, "Come on, it's not safe in the elevators. We'll take you down the stairs. We'll get you out of here."
Our friend was here. There's.
Don't worry. We found them. They were what? It was 2 girls, I imagine.
Yeah, where are they?
They're on their way downstairs. We got them, and we have Mr. Diego also. They're all safe. Wounded, but safe. And
Check.
okay,
Cap?
you want to try to like suss out if he's lying?
Yeah, I'm
He's
shit at it.
He probably thinks he's telling the truth though. Is the issue?
Go ahead. Roll me a clever check.
I'm gonna kill this guy with my own hands.
Leverage
I'd
check,
also like
yeah.
to try to assess if that would help too.
You can, yeah. Well, what are you trying to learn with the threat assessment?
I guess like. Are they not necessarily if they're aggressive, but you said that they are definitely acting differently compared to when we initially encountered them, essentially, right?
Yes. This is a much more like, oh, okay, they're actually like doing something nice, and they seem to be more earnest in their behavior rather than like being shitty security guard like warden types.
Okay. I'd say I'm trying to think how to word this properly.
Really quick, Kaya and Legacy, I assume you were also rolling to try and determine if he's lying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kaya, the guy seems pretty level. You're not sure if he had any reason to lie to you. You don't think he would. And, I mean, it's hard to read a face through a helmet, but ultimately he seems pretty... His voice sounds pretty on the level. Legacy, this dude, you've heard, like, panicked hero mode click in for Marcus, where he's like, I have to do the good thing. I don't know what else to do. This dude is in that same mode. He is 100% like, I don't know. I don't care about my job right now. I am trying to help people, and I need to get you out of here because this is dangerous. He is 100% interested in getting you to safety.
But he's believing what he's saying too.
Yes, he has been told that Joseph Diego and, or as far as you can tell, he is like correctly informed you that Joseph Diego and 2 other women were pulled out of this area and evacuated.
I have a better idea for
Not
my threat
evacuated,
assessment.
they were already on their way down. Yes.
So, I have 2 ideas. One, threat assessing, like, I guess the layout, like, if that makes any sense.
The layout of the
room, I guess. The other idea is, where's Red? Is Red here? Because we know that thing has been with him.
You just with the smoke and the debris, you don't see Red. Not immediately. You could roll to see if there's any sort of spot where he might be hiding, but
I'll fucking walk out of the elevator and just look.
you start to walk out of the elevator, and the dude's gonna try to stop you. Like if you try to go towards the debris, and the guy's gonna be like, "Whoa, wait! It's not safe over there."
I ignore him.
He's like He's trying to stop you now, and he's like, "Ma'am, I'm trying to get you downstairs to safety."
I'll be fine.
There's open flame, and the structure might not be sound. He's going to try and grab you by the shoulder now.
I'll just try and shrug it off. Yeah, I'm basically just trying to shrug it off.
He puts a hand on your shoulder, and then you just yank and pull and slip right out of his grip. And he's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And he turns back to the rest of the group, and he's like, "You just wait here. Don't go near the debris. This is not a safe area." And he's running back over to you. And he's like, "You need to get out of here. I don't know why you want to be up here."
It's my life, and I will risk it on my own terms. If you're so worried, go save other people.
You are the other people. We have this area locked down. And from where you're standing now, walking closer and closer into the main area with the debris, you can see the fire ants that are combing the area. Some of them have their weapons holstered, and they are like moving debris and rocks and rubble. And you don't have to roll any sort of check for this. You see Red standing amidst the rubble. Smoke billows around him, and he doesn't turn to look at you. He is looking around the area, and just like the fire ants, he bends down and starts to move debris. Much larger and much easier. He is moving much larger chunks of debris with much less effort than any of the other fire ants, obviously. But he's doing the same thing that they're doing. The dude standing next to you is like, "There's no one else up here. You are civilians. You were in the elevator. You probably didn't know what happened when we got attacked, but
By what?
it's not safe up here. One of our HVACs was hijacked."
Mhm.
I shouldn't be telling you any of this, but I'm trying to make sure that you trust me and that you will listen. We're trying to help you.
Can I please just look for my friend? I won't go far. I just
He, like,
I need it. I need this for my own sanity.
he looks back at the rest of the group and he's like, if you want to look, that's fine. I'll wait with your friends over there, and whenever I'll give you 5 minutes. It won't take long to really look through this area unless you're moving debris, but you can't. We don't want civilians doing that. We don't want to be held liable for it. So go do a check. I'm gonna go tell your friends a little bit more about what happened.
Appreciate it.
You all heard that exchange go down. Marcus watching is like, so no one else is up here, and we were shot by. The place was shot by an HVAC. It was hijacked. What is happening? And then the fire ant walks over and says, your friend is very stubborn, but I think it might just be grief. Listen, I'll let her look around and I'll escort her back down. For now, can I get you to be escorted down with the rest of my crew?
Legacy, not happy. Probably leaning into Kaya at this point, and just looks up at Kaya. I guess.
Kaya is a storm of different emotions right now. Look, I appreciate what you're talking about, but we already got one friend separated and another. I am not leaving without her here.
Then
We'll wait here. We'll stay in the elevator, but I'm not going down unless she's here with us. You can wait 5.
Don't stay in the elevator. Stand outside the elevator. It's not safe there. We'll take the stairs down.
Okay.
You, Lockhart, how long are you taking to look around?
I mean, you're trying to find anything sus, because this is sus.
You like, you can look around, and as you peel apart the scene with your eyes, it's a hotel room. There's not even a lot of belongings here. You don't see clothing scattered to the wind. You see a destroyed bed and a dresser. There's other living things and a TV. All of this other stuff just bombed out and gone. And in the midst of it all, you watch fire ants moving rubble and trying to clear the area to determine if parts of the building are weaker than others.
So there's nothing sus I can pick up from any of this, other than the situation itself.
No.
Oh, if there's nothing to find, there's nothing to find. I mean, obviously I'll try and get closer to where the fire ants are, but I'm gonna stay... I'm not gonna get in their way, but I am kind of like, I guess, shadowing some of what's going on and going around.
You have this moment of just like profound stillness where you are walking through this destroyed area and you feel in the pit of your soul that there is something wrong. But looking around, you can't find anything here. If there was anything here or if anything went wrong, the proof of what was here is gone with it.
Well, there's nothing to gain, so she'll. I mean, after looking around, she'll calmly head over to the fire or the stairs. I do want to look. Can I look out over to where like everything is?
Over like to the city vista.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, from where you're standing, you look out. The artificial sun is shining. There's the different prongs of the station you can see above your head as you rotate slowly in space. You can see the different city districts, and watching the smoke coil in that curved, weird way is unnerving. But there's nothing out there but empty, uncaring city.
Is there an estimate on where that crash was? The HVAC crash.
You turn to face the direction towards the crash, and you can see the smoke is starting to dissipate. The crash happened at a much lower altitude than the top floor, but you can see that trail goes down into a more deserted part of the street towards Veloska, towards that coffee shop that you had stopped at that one time. It's not far down that direction, but it is in that direction.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just head over to I guess back to the group and head back to the group.
Okay. You head back to the group, and once you're all convened, this fire ant feels visibly much more at ease. As his shoulders slump, his weapon is holstered, by the way. His weapon has been holstered this whole time. He starts to usher you towards the stairs, reassuring you this whole time. You get about one floor down, and then the door opens above you, and you see Cosmic and some other girl with him, escorted by a different fire ant. And as that door opens, the two fire ants have this brief exchange of like, "Are those more civilians? Can you take these two as well?" The guy that just has, "Sure, come on, we'll get downstairs."
Fucking. Fuck.
Cosmic, seeing you, just goes, "Hey, again."
Where the fuck are they? Cosmic?
As you're all walking down together, Cosmic just shakes his head, just goes, "I don't know. They went to," and he looks at the back of the fire, and then he just goes, "They went somewhere. They didn't really tell me where. I don't know. I was left in the room."
Fuck. God, fuck.
Legacy's practically vibrating. She wants to talk, but doesn't with the fire ant.
You can tell likewise that the girl next to him is like clenching her fists in like a fury.
Describe your girl now.
Yeah, now that you're there, what does Neon look like?
So Neon is a small girl, and she has very long purplish hair that she has tied up into hairpins into twin tails, and she has on like a short black dress with like long black boots on, basically. So there's only like a little tidbit of thigh space, basically, and she has a coat on right now. And currently, also has like a house uniform.
Okay. So, and Cosmic is wearing just a t-shirt with like cargo shorts and sandals, and looks very much like a civilian who is very, very in over their head.
You said our
Um,
friends were taken down. Will we be able to meet them?
Maybe. It depends. I
Depends
don't
on
know.
what?
Well, there's a lot of medvacs coming, and I assume that they'll probably be lifted onto one, along with Mr. Diego himself. I think he'll see to it personally.
Mm,
Mm.
hmm.
How very generous.
Well, then you can just radio all your friends and ask where exactly they are.
Yes, will find your friend for you. I give you my word. I will help you find your friend. What's her name?
I'm guessing Legacy just kind of like looks at everybody else and makes sure it's like, okay, we're gonna say this. Lindis, Signal Peak. I don't know what they're going to be calling
Signal
her.
Pink. Um,
Oh,
I think I heard
man.
You
someone
know
talk
these
about her
people,
once.
Cosmic?
Cosmic just shrugs and goes, "Sorta. They're her roommates," and he points at Kaya and Legacy. And I think he's a friend, and he points at Marcus, who like looks behind himself and then looks and goes, "Oh, I'm more attached to Legacy." And then Cosmic looks at Lockhart and just goes, "I don't know her, really."
Is it just the one fire ant leading us down, or is it like, what is it?
There's that. The one fire ant is escorting you down the stairs, and you can hear like the bootsteps, the boots of like many more, like above and below, echoing up and down the stairwell.
And
So I'm gonna flip open my phone and I'm gonna type out my number and just discreetly like put it behind my neck so one of them can see it, and then shut the just as quickly.
Okay.
It would have to be one of the others because Legacy is up front annoying the fuck out of the fire ant.
Yeah.
What did you say your name was again?
Oh, I'm Cosmic.
No,
Or,
I was talking to the fire ant.
yeah, the Cosmic answers, and then the fire ant just goes, I'm Lieutenant Herschel."
Lieutenant Hush.
"Pleased to meet you."
We'll hold you to your word.
I hope that you do. And you continue down, and 14 flights of stairs later, you arrive at the bottom. And when you get there, he opens the door and starts to escort you. Yeah, Kaya, you got the phone number.
Yeah.
And did you want to have an exchange on the way down via text?
I'll just simply type they're dead. Follow me.
So
Yeah.
as you would say what?
So
They're-
like Kaya would message the phone number, question mark of just like a question mark. What do you say?
I said they're dead. Follow me.
Legacy Lockhart and everyone else would notice that Kaya's demeanor went from like worried to stock still before like a fucking typhoon of rage, concern, and grief runs through her all at once. She doesn't say or do anything, but that's the vibe that changes.
Mhm.
Suddenly a threat standing next to her. Fuck. Like, oh shit.
Once we get down to the floor, I'll say I was taught how to do emergency protocols, so I can get them to shelter.
The Lieutenant Herschel turns around and just goes, "That's fine. You're welcome to take your friends to shelter. If there are evacuation HVAC's there. If nothing else, they can guide you. They could take you to the station or to another ward if you would prefer. Or do you live here?
I live nearby. I can take these people to safety. I don't know them, but I do know protocol. Don't worry.
There's a hint of suspicion, but he just shrugs and just goes, "Okay, if you live here, that's fine. Just be careful, and if you need an escort, we can provide you one."
Thank you.
You
Into the
you reach to the bottom floor and you start to walk out towards the front, and as you do, you see a crowd of people, fire ants and civilians and other parties. People have been gathered around in this area, and they're pouring out into the front, and they're surrounding the obelisk.
Mhm.
And as you walk out towards the front, you see stood upon the top step of the obelisk Joseph Diego, and in his arms, carried bridal style, eyes closed, Lindis. And he stands there, bloodied, battered, bruised, clearly the victim of some type of violence. And he has this defiant look on his face as he addresses the crowd and says, This is what they want. They want to divide us up, to take our union and to break it down. And I offer you security. I can make this city safe from terrorists like them. These people. These animals will pay for what they've done. I will save this girl, and I will save us and keep everyone safe. And from the crowd, you hear this low murmur of approval. And then he nods and says, I will see you all soon, with good news on the horizon. Be safe. Let my troops here guide you home. Give you HVAC rides to whatever shelters you need. Escort you wherever you may want to go. And I hope you all have a good night and a safe tomorrow. And he ducks his head, carrying Lindis with him, into the obelisk.
People are gonna have to hold back the two roommates because I think they're just both about to bum rush.
Do it!
How far away is the obelisk?
It's like through the crowd. It's probably like a 80, 100 feet away. There's a heavy crowd. There's the soldiers, and then there's the obelisk, which is pretty big. Now that you're kind of looking at it in person, it is a tall structure, much bigger, more than twice the size of a normal HVAC.
Anyway,
But
Do
I
it!
mean,
Do
big
it!
crowd, but Legacy just as soon as she sees Lindis, just hits the ground running.
yeah, no. If someone doesn't stop Kaya, her vibe. I assume Lockhart already clued in that Kaya is like something's wrong.
hmm
She is the epitome of fucking rage. Yeah, no, Kaya sees red as soon as she sees Joseph fucking Diego holding Lindis, who she's just been told is dead, claiming that he's gonna save her, and using her as a fucking PR prop. And Kaya's gonna fucking rush forward if no one fucking stops her.
I'm going and stop you both.
I was gonna say, Marcus, like seeing Legacy just immediately start to bolt, he's like, "No, wait!" And he's gonna try to grab you. Is he gonna have to roll for it? Because it's gonna be against your quick defense, and it's gonna be hard for him to do that.
Listen, you two want revenge? I can help, but we gotta get out of here now.
If it's higher than 10, he's not gonna have to roll. If it's lower than 10, he has to. Okay, he doesn't have to roll.
He reaches out. You feel both of his arms like brace you on your shoulders, and it's not hard. It's not this death grip or like a no. It's like it's much more softer than that. And he looks at you with like hurt in his eyes and sympathy, and he just shakes his head no.
Is anyone stopping Kaya?
Yeah, no. I like, I put a hand on your shoulder, like, listen to me. I can help you get revenge, but you can't make a scene here. We gotta get out of here now.
He's fucking using her as a fucking PR prop. You expect me to
Yes.
just sit here?
Yes, and my sister just died. We have to get out of here. We can plan our revenge later.
Fuck. God.
Joseph Diego, inside the obelisk, the stairs levitate up in their magnetic way, load into the structure, and you feel this light wave of pressure just and it begins to lift off the ground. It folds back unto itself into the diamond shape it was before, and it begins to float up and up and up and off to another part of the station. And as it flies away, the crowd starts to cheer and applaud the hero Joseph Diego, who is going to keep them safe.
Kaya is seeing fucking red. What is the nearest fucking object to Kaya right now?
Nearest object, there's let's say
Like
a
there,
mailbox.
a
There's
mailbox?
there's an automated mailbox that is right next to you.
Yeah, a Neon stops Kaya. Kaya's watching this. When the people start cheering, Kaya just God fucking damn it, and she takes her tire iron. She just fucking slams it into the fucking mailbox.
You have this. It dents it way harder than you would have expected Kaya to be able to do, and just there's a few people who turn around who, like, over the roaring, cheering praise of the crowd, they look at you and they're like, what the fuck? And they shake their heads and continue looking up at the distant obelisk as it disappears to another part of the ward. And that is where we're going to end the session.
But it's time for role-playing, Joe.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, you may say a thing.
I'm kind of standing there, very cold, and I won't say emotionless, but cold. And she looks over to Marcus, who, is holding Legacy and whatnot. And she's like, and this is the monster you work for.
Marcus, like, he looks at you and he looks like devastated. Like, his eyes have lines under them that weren't there before. There is just stress and pain and guilt. And he looks up at the obelisk and he looks back at her and then looks at Legacy, and just there is a deep hopelessness and guilt that just falls on his shoulders. You see his shoulders slump, and it's like watching this broad, like, Paul Bunyan frame looking dude just shrink. And he doesn't say anything. But you get the sense that if he would have said anything, he would have said, "You're right."
Legacy just kind of like watches that for a second. and looks at Kaya. And you've seen her manic before. You've seen her pissed before. Which there's something that kind of cracked there.
Mhm.
And she just kind of puts her hand on the center of Marcus's chest and then looks back at Lockhart. And I think there's going to be one less company here in a couple of weeks. And looks at
You're
Leon
speaking my language, sister.
and kind of smirks. Gives Marcus's chest a pat and shakes off his hands. There's work to do.
Hello?
Hello.
Ready?
Oh man. Marcus, like seeing her grin is like he just shocked. So taken aback. He doesn't say anything. He just is staring in disbelief like, what happened? I don't know who you are right now, but it doesn't feel like Legacy.
This is the first step to the techno god I warned you about, Joe.
So, how did you all like the session?
Holy
just-
shit.
Want to say how
Can't hear you,
wonderful it
Piper.
is that both Legacy and Kaya rolled so fucking low for self-control. there.
Yeah.